say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools.
Well,
Yeah, you just plug
happy Eat a Cranberry Day.
Is it Eat a Cranberry Day?
Yes, it is.
I don't like them.
Better than eating a
Don't you
prune.
really?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
You
we
don't
can't
like
be
cranberries?
friends.
Not much I don't like, but cranberries on the list.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Oh, come on.
Well, have you even tried?
Tried.
Really?
Yeah.
How about I bet they have a cranberry beer here.
It's the Home and Garden
I bet
Show
they
brought
do.
to you by the Michaelis Corporation. You want to take it from there, Pat?
Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Oh.
That was my announcer voice.
Yeah.
This place that we are in is amazing.
I've never been.
I've
and
never been,
this
and I
is
wanna
my
know
new
why.
Favorite.
It's the Guggenberger Brewery. You don't get over to the west side. See,
Guggenberg.
Guggenbergy.
I thought it was like Gugman.
Guggenberry.
well, but we have the Gugman House Brewing Company, but it is the old Guggenberger. And so
But it's the name of their business that would be most relevant to our listeners would be
Gugman.
Gugman.
And here's why it's that way. They're twin sisters, Courtney and Abby. One of them is
Are they friends of yours?
one of them is Guggenberg. They're
I love
cousins.
twins.
One of them is
Yeah.
Guggenberg, and
I have
one
grandchildren.
of them is Gorman. So the way they did it was the end
put
of
their names
Gorman
together.
and Gugman House.
Yeah.
Gugman.
And
Right.
this is as a racing fan, this is a race. This was a race shop,
Because
It
at
really
the,
was.
At the
Wilbur
Boyle,
Shaw.
at the Boyle Racing headquarters.
and they have got an old 1930 something transporter in there, which is a big truck.
Which is where they put the Roadster on the back. That's how they get from here. This was their shop, and they get it down to the Speedway.
So cool.
This is really cool.
Lots of cool things to see, and you still see part of the old building because it burned down, right?
It did.
It burned down, and so part of the old building is still here, which is wildly historic. I mean, it is
I'm really
huge.
glad. I hope the sisters got a hell of a deal. That's all I can say is that they're probably good business people, because when the fire came, there was nothing here but a shell, and you can see still some of the old stonework.
Yeah,
But wow,
I like that. The building is magnificent, and just the whole atmosphere is so cool. And we're the only ones here
Yeah.
right now.
right now because
What?
today we're celebrating Movember.
Is that what
It's
it
all
is?
about you. It's all about the men in our lives.
And you know what? How appropriate that it's on Gent Street.
Isn't that funny?
I didn't even think about
1700
that.
Yeah.
on Gent Street. If you know where the old Vic was, the old Victory Field off of 16th Street, it's roughly
Bush
to the
Stadium.
north
Was
of
it
that.
Victory Field before it was Bush Stadium?
We called it the Vic. I mean, that's
no,
what
you didn't. It was the Bush Stadium.
We called it Victory Field. When I grew
How
up over
old
here, buddy.
are you?
It doesn't
know how
matter.
old he is.
If you remember where the old Indians baseball stadium
Bush
was,
Stadium.
Bush Stadium.
We're basically north of that.
And that's been all transformed into really cool apartments.
Yeah. Overlooking
Yeah.
But
what
they
used to be
leave.
the
They still
field.
have left the field.
Yeah.
You know, the field is still in that shape.
And then that's kind of where they go out.
the
and
stands
play
are kind of where the.
Yeah.
It's
Weather.
really cool.
So
I like this
this
area.
is an event for men today. You can come in and
I'm
get
very
checked for
disappointed.
everything. I mean, from
What about
blood
ticks?
pressure.
Can you check for ticks?
That's,
You know why I'm disappointed about this event?
What is it?
Because I thought that they certainly were going to check Denny's prostate.
In front of us?
Yeah.
Terry
I don't
Lynn.
need to see something like that.
You're the
Well,
one in charge.
just wanna
of it.
watch
I
it.
brought you the rubber
I
gloves.
just want to watch his face.
You know
No.
what? I'm all past that, Pat. I have a lady doctor now, and I got over that real quick.
Okay.
Anyway, oral cancer screening, prostate cancer risk assessment. You got Ask a Nurse, Ask an Expert, Ask a Doc. They got clinical research trials going on here that they might want you to be
Maybe
a part
you'd like
of.
to be a part of a clinical trial, Pat.
Pat,
Maybe.
Pat wants to test his strength and balance. There's a strength and balance assessment, Pat.
Oh, you know what? That's from Danny Mark. I went to high school with Danny.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jake Query's going to join us a little bit later. Hammer and Nigel.
I'm going to do the Karate Kid.
JMV is coming.
Hey,
be
you know
careful.
what? That's pretty good, Pat, because that tests how old you are, checking your balance right now.
With his eyes closed.
With his eyes. Oh, yeah, your eyes have to be closed. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know
Jeez.
what? You're doing pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. You know
Before
what it
you
is?
fell over and hit the wall.
Well, I think it might have been the margaritas last night.
Are you still doing that for pain management?
No,
Oh.
just
You know, he's just doing it for
it's
fun.
been. It was a week. It was a week for me.
Was it really?
Trying to get ready for the train today. This first day of the train today.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you
boy,
started
I bet
after
it's-
Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't know if you know.
Oh,
Thanksgiving
he's those
is
retailers
as
that are
late.
pushing it on us fast and
No,
furious.
because you know what? Thanksgiving is so late. It's
I
as
know it
late
is.
as it can be.
Right?
It's the 28th. December.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
that's a
It's just
big leap,
another
'cause last
thing
year
the
was like
government
the-
screws up.
Government.
It's always the last Thursday of the month.
Fourth Thursday.
Yeah, you can blame
I
Right?
don't know how it gets so off track.
I don't know. It's because of
Abraham
government.
Lincoln did this, ladies. Abraham Lincoln. That goes back to the 1860s.
You give the government one thing.
Oh,
one
man.
thing.
And
They're
take
driving me crazy. This is crazy. That in the bus line.
Oh, the bus line.
What is with that? Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
How about
I don't see
Easter?
anybody on the new one.
How about
And
Easter?
Easter's
like almost May next year.
Yep. And development. Those are
Yeah.
really the only things I get upset
Well, now,
about.
see, you
Do you-
can't blame that on the government. That's the church, and the
I
church
know.
is almost as screwed up.
Do you know
as the
what?
government.
Because some people, like what I say is, and it really gets a lot of people riled up, and then they call. So I'm going to go ahead and say it.
they send me emails.
So I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going to
Okay.
say, if Easter would just take a page out of Christmas's playbook, maybe it would be more popular, but you can't have it all over. You need to pick a date and stick with it.
Oh, you don't think Easter's very popular anymore?
I'm kidding.
Now, do you know why Easter?
I just say it just to
I
know
know
why
you do.
to get a
Just to get
reaction.
people
I'm
upset,
sorry.
riled
Do you
up.
know why Christmas is on the 25th?
Because somebody did it right.
No,
Picked a date, stuck with it.
it was a pope, and it was back in like the 3rd or 4th century, and they always had Saturnia. Saturnia was a celebration of Saturn
Yep.
and all that type of stuff. Well, it was a pagan thing, and he said, well, there's already celebrating. Let's go ahead and make it the 25th.
You know
So
what?
They made it the 25th.
I bet it was his wife's idea, too.
Really? The Pope didn't have a wife,
Priests were married like 900 years ago.
so why'd
Right.
they screw that up?
One more thing. I don't
Just
know.
another thing to be upset about. You know what else people are upset about this week?
What?
$25 parking charge at Ruoff.
Oh,
People are-
yeah.
First of all,
That so
so
first of all,
infuriates
it's
me.
just $20.
Or
But
20,
it-
I'm sorry,
it-
20,
but-
25, what?
But you know what? They can do it because that's the only event center
You know
they
what?
have.
Sometimes you pay $50 to go to a Colts game. I mean, parking. I think if all of this, what I would be upset about. I don't go very often there, but it's not necessarily the parking, but it's not being able to bring your chair.
You can't
You
in the
can't
lawn.
bring
You
your
can't
lawn
bring your
chair.
short lawn chair anymore. You have to rent them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that part does bother me because
Yeah.
not all of us like sitting on the ground.
I can't sit on the ground.
I can't get up.
Yeah. I would like, if I ever, I've never sat in the lawn,
Right.
but if I did, I would have to roll down to the bottom of the hill.
No, if you sat on
And
the
just-
lawn, you
Oh
could-
my gosh! Did you hear about Jay Leno falling down the hill?
I'm not buying that. I don't buy. I think he got beat up.
What?
I think he got beat
He
up.
looks like he got beat up.
He does.
But Jay,
Jay
Leno,
Leno.
he rolled down a hill this week.
I'm
Oh,
not
Jay-
buying that. I'm
Jay
not.
Leno, yeah.
I'm not buying it.
And-
I don't think he's that clumsy.
I did see that.
Wow.
He's really,
I mean, he really got hurt.
yeah.
So anyway, we should have our knees checked today since they're doing checking of the knees. I
My
think,
knees are shot.
just to see about our knees because we're not going to be able to sit
Hey,
on the ground at
why
Ruoff.
don't we get somebody from that QC Kinetics about where they regenerate
Yeah.
all different things? That we got to get
Yeah, we
somebody
should
like
talk
that.
to them.
Yeah, we should.
They're good to the station. We should.
Between
Yeah.
the three of us, we've got two good knees.
So this whole event, Movember,
We're celebrating.
on Gent Street
Yep, awareness.
at,
I've noticed both of you
Gugman.
don't have a beard.
I don't. Franciscan Health. This is sponsored by Franciscan Health.
God bless them.
And just so you know, this whole deal, because it's for men, it was all over on our sports stations. So this event was supposed to be on the Fan. And what happened was IU kicked their game to noon.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yep.
So what that means is all the dudes are coming out.
No, it means we're second
Jake?
choice. I've been second
They're all
choice my
coming.
whole life.
But I'm guessing this is a great place to watch the game. They'll probably have it up on all because a lot of places are doing that, having kind of watch parties.
Yep.
So I imagine this would be also while you're getting your prostate checked, you can watch the game.
That's a great idea.
I mean, how great is that?
Why did you make that? That was a good play. Oh, I just got my prostate checked. Oh, did they fumble? What happened? What happened?
It's not. This isn't just for men either, because women, honestly, we are with you, and it's part of our jobs as I think. I mean, I'll just speak for myself, is to care for the man in your life, and
so sweet.
To make sure that they're doing what they're doing. Sometimes, we can feel things you can't.
Whoa! There we go. Back to the prostate
could be wrong,
exam.
different.
Yeah.
And so, truly, we are the ones. Truly, females need to make sure.
Well,
what is that?
will say
that's my hearing problem.
No, I will say this: that women are the ones that normally see skin cancers on men because they're around them all the time. So if there's something hidden on the back or the neck, it's your wife or your girlfriend or your best friend.
But we're also the encouragers. You've got to get that checked.
No. You're the naggers.
Well, however
nag,
you'd like
nag,
to word
nag.
it. But somebody's got to do it. And men don't like going. Men don't like keeping up. I know you do because you find it relaxing to get away.
I do.
Go to the doctor, have a colonoscopy.
I'm getting a colonoscopy. They turned me down. I said, I will pay.
I think you've had already 2 this year, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm going for when you go down. What's that?
Endoscopy.
I'm getting one of those on December 30th.
That one makes
That's a little Christmas gift to myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Pat, they do have pelvic health rehabilitation. Now, what would that be for a man?
What is it?
Pelvic health rehabilitation.
Come on, everybody. The rest of those.
We as women have wider pelvises than you do.
So you can pass the child.
Right. Right. We have longer teeth than you do.
Really?
And your foreheads are different.
We're going to have pulmonary function testing, skin cancer, oral cancer screening, prostate cancer risk assessment. I don't think they're going to do the rubber glove. They're just going to assess it. And then ask a nurse about GI. Pat, this one's for you. GI and digestive health. Your stomach's a mess.
Yes, it is.
We can take care of that. That'll be Beth Sexton and Julie Pickett. They're Franciscan Health Registered.
What time does this get started?
I don't know.
I think maybe 11-ish.
Terry's going to do the first hour. Whoa.
Well, you guys go through the...
that door's open. Woo! Putting the coat back on now.
There we go. Here comes some of our Radio 1 colleagues into
All
the
right,
building.
so the gang will be here. So Hammer and Nigel will be here.
Yep. Jake.
JMV. JMV. And then is someone coming from the morning show? Kevin or Andy?
Kevin's coming.
I
will say this. There's going to be more testosterone in this building and more alpha males than the time Tony Katz got lost in the House of Mirrors.
Let's charge them if they want to be on the radio, like an advertisement.
What I was hoping is that...
And then with that, we'll buy something delicious.
When they got here, we would just kind of sneak off.
That was pretty funny. More alpha males.
Oh, you mean just leave?
Yeah, I mean, if we get our live spots recorded, so we record our live spots and we invite Jake and those guys over here, and they start on, and then we just leave.
If you told me you were just going to go sit at the bar, but if you're having an endoscopy today, you should go easy on the hooch.
No, I don't have it till the 30th. It's a Christmas gift to myself.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what my doctor has? I have they take pictures. Like there's this contraption for skin cancer. You stand in your underwear and they take photos, and you have to pick up your feet.
Oh my gosh,
and then they
I love
compare
that.
it to.
And I really like that better than just as they pick through and look through your hair.
It's a closed circuit feed to the women's restroom, is what it is.
Oh, good.
Pat's out there in your underwear. I can't imagine you in your underwear.
He's got a creepy mind.
He is creepy, and I'm not wearing underwear right now.
Yeah. So who's creepy?
Come on. We don't need to know that kind of stuff.
We need to break.
Well,
no, you're creepy too.
What? Because we need to break?
No, because he's talking about.
Wait a minute. I want to show you. Can I show you this?
No, I don't want to see it.
Put your pants back on.
Okay.
Look. Okay.
Okay. See that sock?
Yeah.
Okay. See this sock?
Oh, God. You got a short and a tall one?
That's my life. All right.
Do you know how you prevent that?
That's what I am.
Do you get dressed in the dark? Always pull 3 socks out, so when you go in the light, you have 2 of at least the same. Dumb butt.
Hey, anyways, happy Eat a Cranberry Day. We're coming right back. We are here at
Lord.
Gugman?
Guggenhaus.
Guggenhaus.
Or House. Is it House or Haas?
Is it Gugman?
Well,
Gugman
if
House.
it's German, it'd be House.
House, yeah, Gugman House.
We're over on Gent Street.
Yeah.
Come on and see us. Oh, they're probably not open yet.
No, they're not.
Okay, we're going to, you know what? We're gonna.
I'll find out what time.
We're gonna get some details.
We'll let you in.
We're coming right back.
I'm
93 WIBC. Okay, there you go. Hey, good morning. Welcome. You're listening to
He
Saturday's.
has no idea what's just happened.
I have no idea. Saturday's Home and Garden program, brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. We are here at, how do you pronounce it, Dan?
Gugman House.
And it is a very, very cool facility. I have never been here before, but really cool. And we're here for a very special event brought to you by Franciscan Health. And it's screenings for men.
Right.
That doesn't mean that,
because it's Movember.
It's
Men's Health
Movember.
Awareness Month. There's a Movember movement. You see guys growing beards right now for awareness, just to say, pay attention. Make sure you do all the right things,
Yep.
that you need to be be
What's
good. Mental health is a big part of it also.
Why grow the
apparently,
beard? What does growing the beard have to do with
It's just showing,
Movember.
like if for Movember,
all right,
men's health.
Denny, let me give you a line.
Yeah.
Just say, Pat stopped shaving his back during.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
That's your
Movember.
line. Movember.
That's why it's Movember, and this is why there's a lot of hair grown right now.
I didn't know.
No, you're supposed to do that line.
Oh, yeah. Pat's knuckles have not been shaved for 3 months.
It was his back, I think,
my
is what
bad.
I wanted you
I'm
to
sorry.
talk
You
about. But
screwed
anyway,
that up, too.
Well, you look like Sasquatch. I can't get past the face.
now listen. Part of the mental health awareness, a part of all of this Movember movement, there's a lot of conversation that men don't really have friends.
That's
that
true.
they can turn to if they're going through something mentally,
Yep.
physically.
Do you have
they
a
feel
woman
alone.
that you share things about with?
Women do.
Not your
They
yes,
do.
I do.
Or a
Yes,
friend.
absolutely.
And can I
Yes.
give a quick example of that? Ladies' night at our store is unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable how many women come and the gals and come. We tried to do a guys' night, and we called it Gadget Fest. The only guys that came were the ones that their wives brought them.
Oh, that made them come.
It was a disaster.
And do you know why?
Oh, why that men don't have friends?
Yeah, it's the way nature protects themselves. Men never want to show any weakness. If you're in a herd and you show weakness, you're either going to be the victim or somebody's going to whoop your ass and be the new alpha male in the herd.
Wow.
So men, historically, it's biological. They don't want to show any weakness in front of
I
anybody.
show weakness every day.
When was the last time you cried?
I don't. Probably when my mom and dad died.
That was the last time. And Denny?
Well,
Remember the last time?
well, no,
Denny
no,
cries
wait.
every Sunday.
I take that back. I
That's
take
just
that
'cause of
back. That Beth was watching a Hallmark Christmas thing. I cried at that too.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that Kroger commercial makes me cry every time it's on
Which
right
one?
now about the lonely lady in the house and the
Oh,
little boy comes across the
yes.
street, brings her cookies,
Yep.
and the next thing you know, the whole family is there and
Yeah.
they're saying,
Have
"Let
you-
us come, let's all share together."
Have you seen the ads that matter? The father that is sitting at the Thanksgiving table. It's a big table, one light in the middle and one plate. So the next thing you see is all of his kids all over the world getting these pages or getting these notices, and their countenance just falls. He's basically told everybody, somebody's told him that his dad has died.
Is
Their
this a
dad-
commercial?
Yes, it's a commercial. So
What's it
all-
for?
Just be quiet a minute and listen. You and Pat don't have ears. You have 3 mouths.
What?
Yeah. So he tells
We'll get that fixed today.
Yeah, somehow he gets the message out that he's died. And it shows all 4 of the kids wearing black and this one little granddaughter coming in. And the table is all set for the whole family, turkey, the whole works. And they think he's dead, and he pops out of the kitchen, and they just are ecstatic. I mean, their father's alive.
What is
That's
that
awful.
for?
I don't know, Terry. Listen to the story.
I love the story, but I'm wondering what is that a
So
commercial
anyway,
for?
That's what an awful thing to do to your kids.
well, they hadn't visited. I mean, he was making a
I
point. He
understand.
was tired
Yeah.
of being alone.
Do you know the
That was
joke? Do you know the joke where the guy gets both his kids on the phone and says, "Hey, your mom and I are getting divorced," and the kids just freak out. It's like, "No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Don't do anything till we get there." And he hangs up the phone. The kids are coming home for Thanksgiving.
that is so. You
That's
never
good.
know the last time you get to hug your kids. You never know the last time you get to tuck your grandkids in. You don't. Those last times, you don't know when those are going to be.
Right.
And then suddenly they're on top of you, and you thought, "How'd that happen?"
Yeah.
But you still got grandbabies popping up everywhere.
You sure
do.
do.
Cool.
Every month.
Every
It's
month.
so fun.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Another one.
God.
You know what? Patty, who they live by the store, so they're over at the store all the time. So Patty has saved me from a nervous breakdown this week.
Really?
I got to hold him for 45
His
minutes.
new
that's
grandson,
cool.
that's Joe and Arden.
Yep.
They're the parents, and boy, he's a handsome-looking kid too.
Yeah.
They all are.
And little Rory, because
Really?
she's not been out as much because she's small and she was a preemie.
Yeah.
So she's just 5 pounds.
Feels
So
like that preemies
she's
are
just
more
playing
normal
in the
now
yard.
than ever before. Preemies. Well,
Yeah.
Preemies truly. It seems like when I know somebody that's had it, they're having a new grandchild or whatever, it's a preemie every time.
Well, and they always, they're really, medicine has advanced so much, and they're really
Right.
looking at the mother's health. And in Carrie's situation, is she has high blood pressure. And so they're monitoring that blood pressure, and they finally said, nope, we're going to.
I think it's
Yeah.
this generation's
Rory's
just in
coming.
a hurry. They're just in a hurry. They're, everybody else is 9 months. They're going for 8.5, 8, maybe
Yeah.
7.5.
Oh, you think they're
They can't wait
competitive?
to get out. They can't wait to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ethan's back in the studio, and we don't want to scare him to death. We need to lock out.
Oh, take a break again?
Yeah.
I feel like we just took one.
Do it.
We're here at, what is it again?
Look right over on the wall.
I can't
there.
pronounce it, though.
Googman
There it
House.
is, right there.
Googman. So I want to say Gug.
No, go goog.
Goog.
Like googly woogly.
Googman House.
Yeah.
And that is the big event. Did we find out when it starts?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Come
11
on in.
o'clock. Just come in your underwear.
On Gent Street.
Yep, on Gent Street, and you're gonna lay on a table right here in the tap room, and
Hey,
they're
we
gonna
need those rubber gloves over
they're
here.
gonna go. It's gonna be like a pit stop. It could be like a pit stop. They're just gonna go around the blood pressure.
Because this is a former race car
Cough.
shop.
That's right. It's gonna
So
be
we're
fun.
all ready for you. We're set up.
Yep, and Hammer Nigel will be here. Jake Query will be here. JMV will be here.
No, not lithium
Kevin.
grease. KY jelly.
I think
Kevin's
Kevin
coming?
Bowen. I think Kevin
Bowen's
and
coming?
Andy,
Yeah.
maybe.
All right, we're coming right back. 93 WIBC.
Put divine intervention.
I went to this concert.
Oh, good show. Good show.
Yeah. Who's it again?
Did you pay for it?
I can't remember.
That's John Mayer, isn't it?
No.
Jason
No,
Mraz.
is it?
Jason
Or
Mraz.
Jason Mraz. Jason
The
Mraz.
two of them sound remind me of each other.
Oh. Yeah.
So
he
which
put-
one did you see?
Jason. He puts on a great show.
Do they have screening for geriatric things for Pat today?
Well, I don't know, but
Pre-dementia.
I mean, I'm
all
happy
that stuff.
to
You know
screen
what
for
I'm
that.
excited about is the new earbuds from Apple that are coming out that are actually hearing aids. So I can still look cool and actually hear.
Oh my gosh! You know why? They got to make them cool because so many younger people are losing their hearing
I know.
Because of all the loud music.
because of all the everything. They just always have sound coming in their ears,
I know.
and their hearing is getting. Even
Think
though they don't
about
want
the
to admit it.
generation of headbangers, how loud the music really
That's
was.
us. I mean, that's us, and that's why we're all wearing them. But they got to make them cool for the younger people that are needing them.
You know
Right.
what? They have different colors. They have gray ones for the gray-haired people. They have dark ones. They have even sort of a amber or red one for redheads, real redheads. They have all
Look
the
at
different
how far
colors.
we've come.
I know.
Then from the big horn.
Yeah.
Remember the big horn?
Thomas
Hey,
Edison got that
hey.
one. Oh boy.
Big
Anyway,
big
at
cow
11
horn
o'clock,
coming out their ear.
at 11 o'clock, you want to come to the 1700 block of Gent. Just Gent.
I think that is so cool
Put
that it's
that
on
in
Gent
your-
Street.
I do too. 16th, just off to 16th Street, across
And,
from Busch Stadium, or whatever it is.
Franciscan Health is sponsoring a Movember event, as Terry calls it, for men health. You come in here, and instead of people nagging you, saying, you got to get this check, you got to get this check, you don't want to make a doctor's appointment, come in here and just get a screening. They've got every type of screening. We're going to send Pat to the vet.
And the thing is, what we need to do is really encourage the lady, the
I
wife,
think so. The lady
to bring, because
Yep.
the dudes aren't coming on their own.
No, probably not. Although I will tell you, we've got, and everybody's going to love this. While you're having all of this happening, the IU game will be on
Okay.
the screens. And so you're not going to miss the game. You're going to be able to see it while you're still having some fun, having some drinks. Oh, they've got the big screen in the actual examining room.
No.
It's what I'm calling it.
That's the event center.
That's
the
not a
event
screen.
center.
That's a window.
No,
We-
see,
we're-
see the
Oh,
big
yeah, that
screen?
is a.
We're at
that's a
Goodman
TV.
House, and this is an
Yeah.
event center where they have weddings, they have birthday parties, they have retirement parties. They've got three
Danny,
different-
we're
three
going to
different
have
rooms.
your celebration of life here. When you
I'm
die,
not going anywhere.
we will have you. And you know what we'll do is we're going to have you stuffed, and we're just going to sit you on one of
boy.
those.
Pat,
That's what Jeff Pigeon always wanted.
I
To be
got
stuffed?
He
I
wanted
got
to
a
be stuffed
$5. I got a $5 bet that
Daddy
I'm going to
Jacks.
outlive Pat Sullivan by 7.5 years. I got it written down and put it in the safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're rode hard and put away wet. I will say
You've had
that.
No.
use everything. You've full
No,
life.
actually, truthfully, I work way too much, but I'm having a blast.
I know you are. You can
really
tell.
am.
You can tell in every picture that I see you in, whether you're on video, whether you're with everybody at the store, or whether you're with the grandkids.
Yeah.
I never really see that. I never see Beth in anything.
Poor Beth.
She's right there with you, working her heart out. But I don't really. She likes to kind of stay in the background.
She does.
And,
she does.
I love her
you know
dearly.
What,
She's
and you
so
know
cool.
what she loves is she loves our listeners or viewers, because a lot of people see me on Channel 13, like to come in and tell Beth, because she works the cash register, and they don't really know. They don't really know Beth, and they like to tell, the cashier the different things about Pat.
Aww.
And she's like, and then one of them is like, he is so funny, and she's like, yeah. He's
Hey,
really,
joining us now, Ethan,
really
if you'll bring
funny.
him up. We've got regular Jeff joining us now. Hey, Jeff.
Really funny. Pat is
Good morning.
so funny.
How
Hey,
are
Jeff.
Well, it happened again. Remember the
Oh,
story
my
about the chewing in worms and teeth taken out of my hands? Then I got the squirrel, Charlie, the fox squirrel that eats out. Well, this week, on the back of the screen, our security door, I noticed a praying mantis, and we get a lot of those in the summer. And it's about an inch and a half long, and I thought it had died because of the cold. So I go to pick it up, and it's alive. So I clean out a cooler. I put it in the cooler. It's crawling up my sleeves, and boy, those things are frightening up close when you get a zoom-in picture of their eyes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I look it up. So the wife says, yeah, I eat crickets. So I go buy a dozen crickets. I got it in a cooler. I put it next to my heater in the garage, and I bring it back to life. It starts moving, and I didn't know I dumped the whole thing of crickets in there, but you're not supposed to do that, because then I started looking up online a little bit more about them, how they can see 60 foot away and all that. And I was like, oh, my God, I dumped the whole thing. Hell, they can attack it. So I had to go in there and murder some of the crickets with my finger. And sure enough, it started eating, and I still got it. Now I don't know what to do besides put it out maybe when it's 60 degrees.
You know what? Don't show it
Just
to your
have to
wife.
take it out on warm days.
The praying mantis is one of the species that after they mate, the woman eats the male. So you don't want to show that to your wife.
Well,
I think you need regular Jeff. I think you see how long you can. Like I care for stink bugs.
Oh,
Good Lord, woman!
Just don't
Stink
smack it.
bugs.
I keep them in the house. They got in the early part of fall, and they're walking back and forth. They all are in the bedroom.
They're looking for the
And
bathroom.
They're and I sometimes I looked and what they ate. They eat vegetables. They eat fruit and vegetables. So I've got a little bowl there for them, and it's kind of just fun to see how long you can keep them, and it becomes kind of a thing. And you could do this with this beautiful praying mantis, which is so good for our world. And so keep him as long as you can, and just be grateful during this season of gratitude.
I got one quick thing too. I wanted to congratulate you on purchasing Ruoff. I had no idea until I put it together that 20 years ago I was in your store and I was looking at a display. I really liked the display. I had an employee come up and they said, "Oh, you want to buy the whole display?" I said, "No, I'd like to buy the rack." And she was gone 15, 20 minutes, came back. She said, "How's $20 sound?" And I was like, "Sure, or $40." And I was like, well, it must have been worth 20, and she got a hold of Pat. So I put the two and two together. If you bought Ruoff and you renting chairs and the price of the parking went up, I was like, boy, that's Pat. He's a heck of an entrepreneur, isn't he?
Oh, I wouldn't. You know what? Here's the difference between Pat and Ruoff is that I try to make the customer's experience as easy as possible. So what I would do if I really felt I needed that revenue, I would just add that into the ticket price.
Exactly.
And then,
Right.
Anybody who's ever bought something from Ticketmaster's already been depaid.
Well, it's about who controls what, right? Though, I mean, Ticketmaster or whoever it is is the one that would need to add it, and then I don't know who owns what and how that all works, but it's just gotten crazy, and people are calling it greedy. And I think the lawn chair part of it is what makes me the angriest, that you can't bring your lawn chair. You can rent them.
I was just teasing. You guys have a great Thanksgiving.
I know. Hey, see you, Jeff. Talk to you next
happy
hour.
Thanksgiving. We're grateful for you. Make sure you say that to all the callers.
Okay, that we're grateful.
It's a season of gratitude.
Yeah. No, we are grateful for
How
all
can
of
it
our
be the
listeners.
season of gratitude when it's also Movember?
Oh, because it's also Cranberry Day.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, there you go.
Eat a cranberry day. I love cranberries.
I've always wanted to say this to you, Pat.
It's great for your prostate, by the way.
Eat a big one.
Eat a big cranberry?
No, eat a big one.
Eat a big one. Okay. That sounds,
I don't get
that
to
has
say
a
that
lot
to
of
you very
meanings.
often.
Will you
it
be having
does.
turkey or ham?
Turkey. Do you remember the songs? Because the Sullivans just hated ham. The Turkey Fest song.
Terry.
It's one of the lines that Denny wrote.
I tell you what, I'm sending you both to the geriatric center. We got. Hello, what color is this? What color is this?
Denny, turkey or ham?
Today is Tuesday. What was yesterday? God,
Today's Tuesday?
it's the geriatric exam, you know?
I wonder if there is one. Let me look up, see if there's a geriatric exam we can take before we really commit to having a physical.
We can have the people from Franciscan help us.
You know what? We're
Yeah,
going to
well,
get
we
somebody
could.
from Franciscan
We'll
here. We'll deal with this.
We'll have to have my friend Danny Mark on.
We're going to have somebody from Franciscan before all these radio personalities get here because there's, more know-it-alls per square foot than on the dive board.
Why would you say that about Jake Query, JMV,
Jake's my favorite. No, I'm talking about Hammer.
Hammer,
Did you-
Nigel,
I watched that thing for that
Kevin Bowen will be here.
they were having the cocktail contest. Hammer stands up and grabs a microphone like he's Tony Katz and starts doing a play-by-play as Rob's making his cocktail.
His son Chris is on our promotions team today. Maybe we should ask Chris how Jason is at home.
We
He
should.
does that. All right, we're going to do a prayer.
I'm going to go find somebody from Franciscan.
All right, we're coming right back. 93 WIBC. Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Hi, I'm Pat. This is my friend Denny, and Terry's here.
I am not your friend.
Cam is our field engineer,
Yep.
and Ethan, or as we like to call him, Nathan, is back in our studio on Monument Circle.
Allison
Pulling what
is still
Harry has
out.
left.
Allison is out. She'll be back next week.
Yeah,
Allison went
she's
to
in
Machu Picchu,
Machu
for her birthday.
for her 30th birthday.
Wow.
Our little girl's growing up.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
So we're here at, is it Gugman? Gugman.
This is Gugman.
Gugman.
Gugman House.
Yes, and we're
Brewing
here on
company.
Gent Street,
I need to apologize.
and we have a very special guest.
to Joan,
Because we're
Joan Heimbrook from Franciscan's Health.
Hi, Joan.
Hello.
I am really sorry, sweetie. This
okay.
is my life. I mean, it's like herding cats.
Stop talking. This is about Joan.
Okay.
So, Joan, tell us exactly what's going on today.
Well, we are hosting our Movember tailgate party.
Okay.
We've been on hiatus. Last time we had it was 2019, but then, COVID happened, so we haven't
COVID.
had it in a while. So we're bringing it back.
Okay.
It's been a very, very popular event. We offer free screenings. And for those free screenings, November is Men's Health Month. And as we know, you two are men, you don't go to the doctor when you're supposed to. You don't
See,
get
we
things
talked
checked
about
out.
I do because
Wait a
I'm
minute,
more
wait
like
a minute.
girl.
Are we
Okay.
married? You sound like
Well,
Mackie.
I don't
Mackie
know.
says you need to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. I feel
but
fine.
Joan, right? This is also a women's month too,
Yes.
for the men that we love.
Yes, absolutely.
To
And they
push
tend
them
to
to do
drag
what
them
they-
by the ear
Right.
and bring them to this event and say,
So
you need to get that mole
have
looked
you
at.
had it here on Gent Street before?
No.
How about that it's on Gent Street?
I
It's
know.
crazy.
I love it. It's on Gent Street, and we're inviting all the gents to come out
Yeah.
and get checked out. So we have 12 different stations for
Okay.
different screenings. We have oral cancer screening, skin cancer screenings,
It sounds
prostate
like
assessments.
Joan, it sounds like a lot of money. How much is it going to cost?
It's $0.
$0.
free?
We give you stuff to
Yep.
do it. So yeah.
Just walk in here naked. And get in
we
line.
prefer you wear clothing, but if that's your thing, then
Should you bring something? Is there anything you should bring?
nope. Just show up. You'll register. You'll check in. You'll get a scorecard. You'll walk around.
no.
You get a scorecard.
Men
Pat and I are
understand
too
scorecard.
competitive.
No.
No. You get a scorecard, and then you go around to the different screenings that you want to get. If you get a minimum of 3 screenings, then when you check out, you drop off your scorecard. You get a free meal ticket for a meal here at
No
Goodman,
way.
And you get a $10 gift card. You can buy beer, or you can use it at their coffee
Wow.
shop.
Do you
can-
really?
Joan,
And that's for doing 3.
At least 3.
At
yeah.
least 3 of
Minimum
them. But
3.
we'd love for you to do it while you're here. Do them all.
Do more.
now,
Do
Joan,
all you-
Yeah.
you're awfully smart. You've got to have a title at St. Francisco. Who are you?
I do community outreach for our oncology and cardiac.
She's the great
Okay.
Wazubi, Pat. They call her Wazubi.
They do.
So how long have you been with Franciscan Health?
About 8.5 years.
So when did we stop calling it St. Francis?
About 8.5 years ago.
8.5 years as a been?
Yeah.
Do people still read? Because I still think of it as St. Francis.
It's
St.
hard.
Fran's.
It's a hard thing to stop, but we're Franciscan Health.
Okay.
And but St. Francis is
See,
our,
we make
is our
the
saint.
we make
Yeah.
the mistakes. We make the mistakes early, so
we
that the
sell
listeners
statues,
can remember and
okay.
put it together. It's not Beech Grove anymore; it's everywhere.
No, it's everywhere. We're
Yeah.
all over the state. Yes.
And
That's right.
Franciscan has been so awesome in this type of event for men and for women. I've been
Yes.
to many ladies' nights and
Yes.
and really fantastic events where, as you said, you're not out of anything. You're just there for food and fun and screening.
Yeah, that's so great.
And you get, I mean, it's just, and you, like you said, food. You're going to get a free meal ticket for doing 3 of these screenings.
Listen to these screenings.
It's a great deal.
You can
It's
test
great.
your strength and balance. You can do blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, pulmonary function, skin cancer, prostate cancer risk assessment. Now, we're not doing the
checking
lube
you
and
out.
poke. That's
know,
right.
That's not happening.
God
today.
bless you.
If I actually paid the fee, would someone check Danny's prostate?
Hey.
I don't think there's enough money for us to do that. So
God bless this
So
woman.
sorry.
How they got
What everybody
cardiac
says.
rehabilitation, ask a doc on health, nutrition, exercise, ask an expert, clinical research trials. That's for your Alzheimer's.
What are
Pat.
the clinical research trials? What's that about?
I think the ones that we'll be talking about today are different oncology research trials, and then some others too. I think for cardiac as well.
Okay, so Joan, our friend Joan from Franciscan Health. So the ladies one. So at our store, ladies' night is crazy.
Yes.
People love it. Friends, we stopped doing the men's because we don't have any friends. So do you see the same thing? The difference in this event too? I mean, your ladies' nights versus the guys here on Gent Street.
Well, quite honestly, that's why we decided years ago when we started this to have it at a brew pub. Because
Okay.
my suggestion was, let's go where guys already are,
And they're
where already
and they're comfortable, yeah.
and where their girlfriends or wives or whoever might drag them and say, you need to get that mole looked at, or let's go ahead and get your blood
Yeah.
pressure checked. And so we do have good luck. Of course, our ladies' events always go well, and
Sure.
everything that I do in outreach has to cost $0. It's all about breaking down barriers, education, that sort of thing, offering different screenings just to educate the public so that they can stay on top
I
of
mean,
their
it
health.
is genius. I mean, hey, hon, let's go. What do you say we go get a beer?
Well, and the games
Yeah,
will be
and
on
the game
too.
is
Go get a beer.
on.
IU
You've
game
got-
will be on here as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're not going to miss anything.
exactly.
Men aren't stupid. They're just lazy and they're afraid to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But my first rule is men are stupid, learn to
think-
work around it. So
think
women
they're
have figured out how to get us to the doctor when we don't want to go.
Everything opens up at 11 o'clock for everybody
Yes.
to come by. Just come on in, get yourself in the door, check in, and off you go.
And lots of other prizes as well. When you check in, you'll get a bag, you'll get a koozie. A little magnetic koozie is really cool. And then when you check out, of course, you get those things. But then you get a raffle ticket at each stop, and then you can drop it in. 1070 The Fan is doing giveaways, all kinds
Okay.
of tickets and basketballs, all that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Honest. Okay,
Yeah,
everybody
I
come
tell
on
you
out.
what, Joan, you guys really got lucky because I know the fan is so great, but we're awesome.
Oh, I got the A team. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, it's-
I mean, this thing played right
Joan,
into
we're
your
going to
hand.
keep you. Stay as long as you want.
Yeah. I
Oh, my
mean,
gosh.
Jake and all those guys.
Sure.
they're nothing. Hey, thanks for spending a little time with us.
Thank
We
you for
appreciate
having me. I
that.
appreciate it.
All right, come back, will you? All right. Hour number 2 is going to be way, way better. We're coming right back.
Won't
93
take much.
WIBC.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys. That really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools. Power tools. Power
Hey, good morning.
tools.
Welcome. Pat Sullivan, Denny Smith, Terry Stacy. Allison is on vacay, celebrating her 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Allison, if you're listening in a faraway place.
Why the hell would she be listening?
Oh,
to this?
she's
Be listening to work.
She worries about you.
But Ethan is back in our studio on Monument Circle, holding down the fort. Ethan, everything okay there?
Doing absolutely
Scaring it.
perfect over here, Pat.
Is it because we're not there?
No, I miss
Hey.
you guys.
Okay, don't mess up the studio. You know how the guys, the day part people get.
Yeah, I had
So-
a couple people over here earlier, but they're gone now. So
Okay, great.
And a little bit later, we're going to have Emily Keller, who is a dermatologist, a physician from Indy Derm. And Pat, we're going to be checking you out.
Okay,
Going to be checking you out.
okay, that would be great.
We are at the Gugman House, about 1700 North Gent Street, which is off of 16th Street on Indy's west side. And we're having a Movember event with Franciscan Health. Thank you. And come on in if you're a guy. And listen, nobody wants to go to the doctor. This is easy. You can come in here and qualify for a beer and a sandwich, and then you can get a lot of things checked and get your wife off your back about checking things.
Lunch, a beer, and then have those checks?
We've got oral cancer screening, skin cancer, pulmonary function. I still don't know what pelvic health rehabilitation. You can test your strength and balance so you can show off in front of the guys. Blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol screenings. Ask an expert for cardiac rehabilitation. We've got it all. And there's no pressure. You don't have to give them your name.
What organ is this?
There's all kinds of freebies when you come in. You'll get a goodie bag. And I picked up an organ squeezy thing, and it's an organ. And I brought it to Pat to see if he could figure out what kind of an organ that is. Where is that in your man body? He's moving it to his...
Careful.
Nope, not there.
Careful, Pat.
Is it?
Nope, but you're getting warm.
Is it down here?
Nope. Hey, no. That's not
I would say this is a kidney.
Pulmonary. I'm going to go pulmonary.
Oh, lungs.
Lungs.
That's awful small, Terry. That's a midget.
Wow.
Settle. It's lung.
That's an actual lung from
a
bird.
hamster. Yeah, it's really small.
Well, I was going to say, if it's actual, we should offer it to somebody.
No, there's
anybody hacking out there, we offer them this.
I wonder, are they using, for the beautiful hog, the pig, it does so much for us when we need things like a valve, or, you can use pig valves and you can use things from the pig.
Right.
That's much like ours. I can't think of another animal or anything that we can take their lungs, right? There's not an animal like us whose lung we could take. I don't think.
Well, if you wanted to climb Mount Everest, you could get the lungs of a horse.
This is stuff I think about all the time.
Is
stuff
it?
like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick something for Denny, I'd pick a donkey.
Donkey lungs?
Well,
Sorry, I was just going to say donkey
then we call him Donkey Lung. Oh, here comes old Donkey
Lung. Well, I just thought it was the animal that most matched.
Seriously, if you're listening to this now, if you're listening on the fan, you already know that this is up here across from the old Victory Field, Busch Stadium. And it's a great place to be. This is where Wilbur Shaw's Boyle Racing Team put together all of their race cars.
It's their shop.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
And it's still, even though this building did burn down, and there's still some history in here because they've kept a lot of the what would that be? The facade, maybe a little bit of it.
The stonework is probably the original stonework.
So it's just, and then you've got the transporter in there, which is an
I have
old
never
truck
seen
I've
seen a lot of trucks. I've never seen a truck like that
Me
before.
either. There's
and
just some cool stuff in there.
So what's in the house over there?
That's a coffee shop.
That's a coffee shop.
You want some coffee? You want some
when
coffee
they were
and donuts?
building this place, that's what they opened first.
Right. That's what I remember seeing on like Fox or WTHR. That was the brewery, right? And then
the brewery was in the basement before.
Right.
Then they moved it over here, but that's where the brewery was, in the basement over there.
That's what I remember, and thought, man, I want to go to a brewery in a basement. But now look at it now.
Indy's West Side just put 1700 North Gent, Gent, which I think is hilarious.
I bet they have a ton of events here.
They
I
do.
Bet they do too. This is a great for well, I wonder how many they can get in here. This is kind of a nice mid-size event area.
I bet in this area you could probably get 50 to 100. In this one, you could probably get 200 to 300. One behind it.
Maybe you could. I bet you could. Maybe.
Yeah,
It's
good
big.
celebration
It's
of
big.
life.
Hey, I need to get this in. We are, of course, on remote, and it's always hard to do in the weeds. But I've got some weather-related things because we had weather this week. So, Pat, the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth at ground level. Give me a rough idea of how cold you think it was. The coldest place. I will say that it was in Antarctica.
Indiana.
It's not in Indiana.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Coldest place ever. How much, Terry?
And you said, what about Antarctica?
It's in Antarctica.
Okay, so I'm going to guess Antarctica.
Okay. No, you've got to say how low the temperature was.
I know this.
Okay, how low is it?
78 below zero.
Is he high? Is he high or low?
He's
Price
too
is Right
high.
rules.
It's colder.
Price is Right.
Okay, it's colder. Okay, so I'm going to go 98.
It's 128 degrees below, minus 100. Okay, the hottest temperature ever. Now that's in the United States. Do you know where that might be? The hottest temperature.
Is it a desert?
It's in Death Valley.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
Good, Pat. Now, how hot was it? I'll tell you, it was at a place called Furnace Creek Ranch. That tells you how hot it was.
117 degrees.
A little low there, Pat.
I'd say 137.
Oh,
140,
Terry
37,
Lynn's
38,
134 degrees.
134.
All right,
That's
so
like, wouldn't you get like burnt? Like, I mean, that's like being in an oven.
it's hot.
That's crispy.
Well, water temperature, we're not allowed to have the water temperature from a water heater discharge at any higher than 120 degrees now.
Is that right?
That's right. I mean, so 134, we don't even let hot water come out of a hot water heater at that.
You could just take your TV dinners and put them on the table outside.
All right, the most snowfall on Earth, I will tell you, comes from Tsukao Onsen in Japan, with an average of 57 feet a year. That's the average. But what is the highest amount of snowfall in 1 year at this location?
Where is this?
It's in Japan. It's in the mountains off of Mount Fuji.
57 feet. So
That's
you said,
the average?
You said 57 feet is the average.
The most snow per year
Is
is at this
57.
location.
Okay.
The average is
I
57.
got this one. I got this
All right,
one.
what is it?
1 year, they had a total snowfall of 167 feet.
No, you're too high.
He's too high.
Yeah.
I would say it's. I'm going to go with 98 feet.
You're too high. It's 77 feet.
Oh.
Now, to put that in perspective,
That's not
Yeah.
that big a
average
deal.
for central Indiana is about 2 feet. 22 and a half, or
Yeah.
25 and a half inches. That's 77 feet of snow. I don't
That
even
is,
know what they do with that.
That was kind of dumb
I
on
don't
them
either.
to build houses there.
All right. So the windiest region on
hell
Earth.
they were thinking.
The
Chicago.
windiest. Okay. My thanks to the Marburger ladies for putting up with this. EF Marburger, 9999 Allisonville Road, sponsors In the Weeds. God bless
boy.
them.
Yeah, God bless them as
They
well.
All
need
right.
they need to speak
You know
with
what?
an
We're
account.
grateful for them in this season of
That's right.
gratitude.
Yeah.
Windiest.
You should do. Have you done any
Terry,
flooring?
are you going to do that
trivia
all
yet?
day long?
All
The
day long.
windiest region on Earth. Where is it?
Region on Earth?
Windiest region.
Oh man, I think it's someplace cold.
It's the southern hemisphere.
I'm going to say windy. Can you tell us how much wind it is?
It is 125 mile per hour.
Oh, man.
That's the fastest. The average there is 27 mile
South
per
Pole.
hour. Not bad.
South Pole.
Patty, you want to take a break?
I don't know.
All right. It's 27 mile per hour average, 24 hours a day. It's in Wellington, New Zealand. Now, again, to put that in,
Oh, I love New Zealand. I thought it was beautiful year round in New
they're
Zealand.
wacky political, though. You don't want to go down there.
Oh, that's
the
where we're all
ins-
leaving. We're all going to New Zealand.
I'm not going to New
We are?
Zealand. Central
Everybody.
Indiana average is 9 mile an hour, and they are at 27 mile an hour.
Man.
All right. One more,
Okay.
and that's the cloudiest place on Earth.
Oh, London.
No,
Cloudiest place on
Ireland.
Where?
Ireland.
Ireland?
Ireland.
Actually, 67% of the world is covered by clouds at any one time. But satellite data says it's around the equator where circulation cells, which are called Hadley cells, they say the warm air rises and condenses, creating clouds and storms. It's around the equator.
Oh, well,
I would
thought
not
you
have-
meant, I thought what you had meant like name a town.
Yeah.
Okay, something on the equator.
Something
Ecuador.
on Ecuador.
Ecuador. There you go. That's the cloudiest place. But it has to do with how the condensation. All right, Pat, this one's for you.
Oh, there
Okay, you
more.
ready?
You're hurting my brain.
All right. What is the average size of a male prostate?
Thank God.
Oh, it's the
when
size
you
of a
came out
nut.
with when
It's
you
a
came out
walnut.
with the P word, I'm like, Denny.
Is it?
Okay,
No,
the average-
not that one.
The
How big?
average
how,
size of the prostate? It's the size of a
Like a
small
walnut.
A walnut.
That is perfect. Terry Lynn wins. Terry said it first. You said it second.
Well,
but what's
I don't
the
think she gave me a
largest? Okay,
chance.
so to put that in proper perspective, that is about maybe 15 grams size, weight wise.
Yep.
What is the largest prostate ever removed
Oh,
in
wow.
surgery?
Yep. That
Size of a
is-
grapefruit.
That's exactly right.
Grapefruit?
Yeah,
Not-
grapefruit.
Not
Or a
bad.
small, or maybe a tangerine or a tangelo?
No,
No,
it's
no.
a grapefruit.
It's bigger than that. It
Oh.
turned out to be 705 grams. Now, to put that in proper perspective, that's the equivalent of 1.5 pounds of a prostate.
Wow.
And to put that in really good mood for you, that's like 6 Big Macs. That's how big it was.
What's your prostate do? Remind me.
It
It
provides
makes you pee all the time.
No.
You got to have a good one.
it provides
Yeah.
fluids and lubrication for the sperm to make it to where it's going.
So listen, and I'm not ever one to criticize God, but I think there could be a redesign on that one.
On the prostate?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it got the playground too close to the
Yeah.
septic system.
And-
You got all that issue.
I bet Jesus did that one.
What?
I bet
You
Jesus
have to
healed
stop
that.
saying all that. They're hearing you.
Yeah, we're going to get
Well,
phone calls.
are criticizing
All right,
them.
Probably know it.
So
There
I'm
must
going
have
to
been a
save you
reason
some
why
time
they
for
put it
it's
there.
Denny at WIBC.com. Just go ahead and write it. I'll take care of getting the information to Pat on the complaint.
God put it there for a reason. I mean, he didn't make any mistakes, right?
He didn't. I think he did it just to
Do you think because
control
you're men?
to control men.
I don't have one, right?
Oh, no.
I don't know.
No,
But,
I don't have
but
one.
here's the thing. Did you know that every mammal, the male species, they all have prostates?
all of them.
All of them.
Every mammal. Now, I don't know about.
Do all of them
non-mammal.
does a seal have an enlarged prostate and makes them need to pee a
Remember,
lot?
the whole idea of the prostate is to make some fluid and stuff so the swimmers can get up to the eggs so we can have fertilization. Okay, so it's just, Ethan, this is important stuff. Ethan told us to break.
Well,
Yeah,
like
well,
me
we're
and-
not going to.
We're not going to.
So
Hey, coming up, we're going to have Emily Keller, who is a dermatologist, and we're going to do some examinations, Pat.
well, that's great.
Sure beats talking about the weather.
You know, because I think any kind of visual examination on radio is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's full of it.
You know
Anyway,
what? I'll do commentary.
Okay.
and my thanks to the ladies at EF Marburger, Kim and Kelly, 9999 Allisonville Road, for all of your flooring needs.
Were you locking it up? Yeah.
Lift my heart up when the rest of me is down. You enchant me even when you're not around.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Pat Sullivan, Denny Smith, Terry Stacy. Allison is on vacay. Ethan is back on our studio on Monument Circle, and we are here on Gent Street at Gugman House.
Gugman
House.
House.
Can I just say house?
Gugman. I
House.
think
Say it,
Gugman is
buddy.
good. The Gugman.
Gugman.
Yeah.
Gugman. And we are here for a very special event from Franciscan Health, and it's like Dude's Night.
It's Movember.
Dude's Day. And it is such a great deal. And we are joined by dermatologist Emily Keller. I feel like I know you. Do I know you?
I'm in your place all the time. Maybe
you?
it's just seeing me.
Yeah. You
She's
look
my
very
niece.
familiar.
Have I not introduced you to my niece, Emily?
Oh no.
But he only looks like he's 50, so he couldn't have a niece my
God, I
age.
love this one. Oh, God, I love this girl. You
Please,
stay as long as
please,
you want,
Emily.
Emily Keller.
Wow.
Emily, don't do really.
Emily
You
is
have
from-
to
So
do this.
disappointed in you, Emily.
Emily, yeah.
Emily, come on over here and sit by your Uncle
on.
Denny.
Trying to get her over there.
We're trying
This is great.
We're trying to get rid of them.
Emily is from
out.
Indy, Durham. She's a dermatologist, and normally the dermatologists work extra hard in medical school so that they don't have to be in the endoscopy clinic. They don't have to do colonoscopies. They want to do the fun stuff. They want to pick pimples. They want to dig out warts.
Oh my
They want to do
gosh.
all that
I'm so
stuff.
sorry, Emily.
There's no bending over
just-
and coughing
just-
in my clinic.
There,
That's good.
I love this woman. See?
You know what, though? Could you, any way you could get somebody to check his prostate, like, continuously for the next 3 hours?
I think out in the center here.
Emily,
Yeah, that's what they were both hoping for.
Emily, I know
She's
your
here
mother,
because
my
she's going
sister.
that's right. She said, she knows WIBC and is a fan. So
Your mom
we're
does?
grateful.
Your mom a fan?
Oh my gosh, it's all we listened to when everybody else was listening to music, carpooling to school. It was WIBC with her also yelling to you guys as if we're having a conversation.
You know, this is the
So
other
great. I
half
love that
of
story.
Pidge and
I do
Terry.
too.
You
Yes.
you know Pidge. Pidge is a good guy, and Pidge always bragged about his dermatologist.
He sure did.
And we're not supposed to do things because of health and safety and
Let me
all,
tell you,
all those type of things.
Emily, what I found with most of my men friends, if something shows up on their face, they're going to find a paper clip or a needle or something
Oh,
sharp.
good pocket knife.
To a pocket knife to try to get it out, try to move it around, and you think, really, should you be doing that with that?
Yeah. And how many of them show up in the clinic? Why are you here? My wife sent me.
Exactly.
Was there something we're supposed to look at? Yeah, I don't know. She sent me. Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, what do you-
So then you stand him up on a stool and spin him around and start looking
Or
at
like,
everything.
Get naked. Good story.
Yeah, that's good.
Emily, I don't know how many times I walk into the place and it's like,
my
why are you here?
gosh.
It's like, I don't know. My wife told me, am I supposed to get something? I don't know.
That's why Movember is so important. We're talking
Exactly.
about it, and the women in your life are cheering for this because now there's events where you guys can all get together and
Men
watch
are
a game.
stupid. Men are stupid. You need to work around it, and the way you work around it is you have your wife send you to places like this for free.
Yes. And it's fun.
So what are you
it's
checking
fun.
today?
I feel like you sound so angry.
I'm not angry. I just do what my wife tells me.
Don't you think he sounds angry?
angry but handsome.
Oh, God, I love
don't,
this one.
please
Let
don't.
my
Why?
niece talk. Let my niece talk.
So we're checking
For
anything.
an 80-year-old, handsome.
95.
All right. So, I told you about my brother-in-law and
Yes.
that he did the laser hair removal as an experiment on my neck. And now, do dermatologists still do that type of stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So that cosmetic realm, medical, surgically removing skin cancers, we do it all.
Are you doing cosmet on men? Are they getting Botox? Are they getting?
You would be surprised how many men have us do cosmetics on them. They just
So
don't talk
that's-
about it.
That's how you know Denny.
No. She's my niece. Stop that.
So
Her mother is listening. My sister's
Isn't it
listening,
funny?
and I don't
they
want
won't
to.
go get their prostate checked,
But they will
they'll
get
go.
Botox.
But they'll get Botox.
Oh,
Yes.
Men don't want
You
to.
men are so
Did you do
weird.
his turkey neck? Is that
That's
what?
why it looks so good.
It does. You did a nice job on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Emily, when I see you at Thanksgiving, this is going to be talked about.
So,
Oh, my
Emily,
gosh.
give us a little routine for men, or really anybody. How often should they be checked by a dermatologist?
So a lot of that depends on your family history. Let's say you've had skin cancer in the family. Come get a once-a-year skin check. If you yourself have had skin cancer, it's usually every 6 months.
And son. So many of us in our generation, late men and women, all were sun worshipers. And so,
Not me.
you
I'm-
can look at me
I'm
and
Irish.
know I was there. But yeah, I mean, truly,
The
for
baby
those.
oil and iodine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all of those people need to get checked,
Wow.
at least a baseline. And then you can say, this is how often you need to have a check.
Now, do you have one of those posters in your office where it has the beautiful woman with a perfect complexion and then 50 years ahead and all the wrinkles to tell people, don't be laying out in the sun anymore?
Listen, nobody listens to me even.
Well, it
The
keeps you in
17-year-olds,
business,
you're
though.
like, listen, we have learned that this is going to cause premature aging, skin cancer. And they're like, yeah, it's not going to happen to me.
But it is interesting. I just saw a story truly about the young people that are going in for cosmetic surgery when actuality is they've not really actually done growing into their skin.
What?
Oh, they
like
get
in
it
your
younger
like in
and
your
younger.
younger, like they're getting younger and younger for that cosmetic perfectness. And then it's turning out that as you age, you've done it too early. What is the minimum? Like an 18-year-old? Is that, or are you seeing?
We see very young. We think of doing preventive things. So if you don't want to get wrinkles, start your toxin when you're younger. It doesn't need to be 18.
Sorry, your toxin.
Botox, we call it toxin.
Toxin.
Got to
That
get with the
seems,
lingo here.
Seems kind of weird that you're.
I didn't
aren't-
warn Emily. I
isn't-
said, Emily, will you join us on air? She said,
Isn't
sure.
your-
Yeah.
Isn't that code of conduct thing to do no harm, and you're throwing toxin?
You're using the word toxin.
We call it like the gateway drug.
Who is
Once
Hippocrates
you start getting
anyway?
Botox,
Oh, yeah,
then
you
you're
can't
like,
stop.
I got to get everything.
It comes
else.
from a cow.
Botox comes from a plant. It doesn't come from a cow.
It comes from a cow.
What? Well, neither of you are. No, I think I'm just going to go.
Pat, you want to give it a shot? Give it a
No.
shot, Pat.
You
Where's
know
it
what?
come from?
I'm smarter than both of you.
All right, where's it come from,
where
Emily?
exactly does this,
Well, let's think of-
this toxin come from?
Comes from Clostridium botulinum.
Oh, it's a bacteria.
Yes. So it came from back in the day. Remember when people would can,
Okay.
and this bacteria would grow, and some people would have very untoward side effects if they ate bad canned things, aka they couldn't breathe
Oh,
because
that's
they had been
serious.
paralyzed.
Oh, I was thinking about the
temporarily.
backyard
Yeah.
trots. I thought they got the
Paralyzes your
scooters.
face.
Oh.
Yes, it's fantastic.
But
All
Emily-
right, so,
Emily, isn't I mean you see skits on
Emily
Saturday Night
Keller,
Live.
dermatologist from the South Side, Indy Durham, is joining us, and she is full of herself
All right.
today.
So,
I'm crazy about her, and I want to sign up right now.
So, but if you overdo it, doesn't you can't really have any expressions anymore.
Yes, and I can't stand when people do that. You can do it, and it'd be so natural.
So that
She's
means you
gonna
can't
fix me up.
furrow
She's
your
brought
brow.
her. She's brought her injections here today.
You look great.
Oh
Stop
no!
that.
I mean, I'm really gauging because of the sun, and I still love it. And it takes everything. It's an addiction. It takes everything I can in my will to not sit in the sun
Yeah.
like I used to.
Emily, I am told I'm a piano player, and every once in a while, the arthritis on the back of my hands, and somebody told me that they're using Botox to release things or to somehow get rid of those pains in the back of your hand. But that seems stupid because would you not lose your innervation and your...
You can't. So you can do it in very small micro doses for different things.
Okay.
But when you're playing the piano, you need that fine motor skill,
Absolutely.
and I would not suggest doing
There
that.
we go. There we go.
But
Well,
you
you know
would
what?
suggest coming today and having screenings when it comes to what you do.
Yes, and when you come in, you can say, hey, I've been wondering about this spot, or check my back because I can't see it, or there's something on my hands or my scalp, and we'll check it.
So just so men are very private about that stuff. Do you take them back in a back room where they can lift up their shirt and stuff?
Yes, so
Okay.
it's a private area. Nobody's going to see you doing this.
It's where they brew the beer.
No. Well, I
Drinking and
Yeah.
skin check at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah, they'll do anything for
Yeah.
a beer, won't they?
Yeah.
All right, so you and Kai
Got
are
a wheat
back
beer
there
in
right
that
now.
tank? Can we try a little bit of that? So do you use any WD-40 anymore for?
So listen, I say that WD-40 can cure anything, just like duct tape can
Yeah.
cure warts.
Oh Lord.
But we've moved a
She's
little
been
bit
in
away
radio.
from
I know she's been
There
in
was
radio.
a time when people were using WD-40 for arthritis.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know. I mean, it's good for everything.
And the
so-
WD-40 company had to come out and say, this is not for medical.
All right.
What
we've
about
got
hair loss? Castor oil. If I rub that on my scalp, will that?
There's a lot better things that help.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to lose my forehead.
Is that
Em. Your sister
dermatology?
has
It
told me.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, we do hair loss.
You do hair loss.
Oh.
Yes.
Is it all Rogaine?
No, we do a lot of, so we consider medical things where we're taking pills, doing other interventions. And
All right.
it really does regrow hair. It's pretty
I'm
fascinating.
going to come and see
Well,
you.
I'm going
We
to
need
get some.
sign up.
All right,
I'm
so
bald.
so
But wait a
Indy
minute.
Derm. Wait
I
a
have
minute. We got to find
story.
out where this woman. Okay,
I have a story.
show her your forehead
So-
first. It just keeps going.
So
All right. There we go.
But when I was young, and we had kids and we were poor and stuff. Remember Walker Research? You don't. You're too young.
I
Walker
do.
Research.
I
Yeah,
do.
they were
I
the
made
telecommunicators.
a ton of money trying the Rogaine product when it was first coming
Oh, is
out.
that right?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Is it still on the market?
For a young
is
guy-
Rogaine still around?
I don't know. There's probably better stuff.
Oh,
but-
yes. No,
Still
it's still
around.
around. And it came out from figuring out when they did like the oral type of it, it caused some side effects. But all these people started regrowing their hair. Yeah. And that's how
Yeah.
the
Emily
topical came
Keller,
about.
your mom's holding out on me. I could get rid of this high forehead stuff.
I don't know why you guys don't talk more often.
I
don't
made
know.
like
I don't know why you're not here with us every
$3,000.
week.
I
You
will
need to
be
be
here
with us
every week for you.
with a
Yeah.
All
question.
right. So let's.
She needs to be our.
We need
our
to get to a
show.
break, and she needs to give
Yeah,
a commercial.
dermatologist.
Where do
She
we
could
find
easily
Indy
fill
Derm?
in for Denny?
We
Minute.
are on County Line Road, across from Costco. So
Where is that?
on
Where is that from the
Greenwood.
airport?
So take 65 south to County Line Road exit.
Right.
And there we are.
There you are.
Okay, that's awesome.
Redness, wrinkles, brown spots, resurfacing, scar revision, laser treatments, Botox,
Resurfacing?
Dysport fillers.
Like asphalt work? What?
No.
What is this?
Resurfacing. That's where they use
the
a
same
chemical
thing.
abrasion and they go on you with
Yeah.
sandpaper, Pat, like 700 grit.
So it's not like a home improvement.
Kind of. I mean, we do use sandpaper.
Emily Keller is full of more stuff than you can possibly imagine. And she's
Like
here
a
doing screenings
workshop.
today.
I love it.
It's unbelievable.
I
Thanks,
love
guys,
it.
for
Emily,
having
I'm
me.
going to take you away now.
No.
Emily, don't you think it's interesting that every female on the continent has a freckle on their wrist?
Oh, excuse me? Did you say
Really?
Yeah,
a freckle?
I've had one on my finger. We're
Doesn't
going to say
count.
it's close enough.
it's close enough.
Okay.
Everyone on their wrist there is a freckle in some point somewhere. Every female on the continent. It started with Eve.
Oh, Terry Stacy.
learned so
I
much
never know
today.
what I'm going to get on a Saturday with you. but
Google
that's, we're at the Guggenhaus.
All right. You have been so good because you know when you're really good is because you'll hear the producer in your ear like going, please take a break.
Stop talking.
Please." All right, we're coming right back. 93 WIBC.
Well, I'm wide awake, she's no trouble sleep.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Pat Sullivan, Denny Smith, Terry Stacy. The Home and Garden Program brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. We are here at this great Franciscan Health event on Gent Street, no less. And we're at a great place called Gugman House.
Googman House.
Did I have it right?
Yeah. I
Hey.
just saw one of the servers walk by and she had on the cutest shirt and it says, I'm in my Googman era, which I
Oh.
love. Little Taylor Swift, little
Yeah.
little
Oh,
Taylor Swift,
I
little
got
fun,
it.
little
Yeah.
fun. It's a fantastic place.
It is an unbelievable place. Courtney joins us, one of the owners.
Courtney
Hello.
Guggenberger.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I
did you
wasn't
have
gonna
to
try
spell
that.
that? Did you marry into that, or did you
I
have to
married
spell?
it. I married into
Good
that.
Lord.
But it's spelled as it sounds.
Yeah, Guggenberger.
Got it.
And that's the first half of the
Good.
name of the place we are.
Yes. So it's me and my twin sister and our husbands. It's very hard to name a brewery. So after many iterations, we ended up just combining parts of our names.
Gugman.
into
Okay.
Gugman.
So you're an
He's-
identical
yeah.
twin.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
You're
Can
an
you hear me now?
identical twin. The
Yes.
question I always ask identical twins, whether it's boys or girls, did you ever swap dates with your sister and get away with it?
You're not the first person to ask that.
Yeah?
And no, we didn't.
Okay.
We hardly went on any dates.
Let me give you
I can't believe that now.
let me give you an easier one. Can you open your sister's phone?
With my face?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Wow,
that's
that's
cool.
really
That's really
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Now,
How
are your-
did you decide that you wanted to have a brewery? I mean,
Oh,
was
that's
that a
loaded,
long time
loaded
dream?
question. So in 2012, my husband and I lived in Germany. And he had started dabbling in home brewing before then, but we fell in love with like the beer scene over
Sure.
there. Obviously, the quality and
Yes.
the community, which you can see some of that here with like our community tables
Yeah.
and stuff. And around the same time, my sister and her husband were out in Denver and fell in love with like the beer scene out there. Go hiking in the morning, breweries in the afternoon, and when we both moved back to Indy, because most of us went to Butler, we decided to put that passion to work, I guess, and use a lot of our experiences from our other jobs that we were able to bring here.
And
So
you
this
have to
is
take some smarts too. I mean, you got to learn what you're doing, right? I mean, he was a home brewer; he knew a little bit, but then you go find the place. I mean, and how did you find this place?
Yeah. We were looking in Broad Ripple because that's where we lived. We'd been home brewing there for several years in our big brew house in the basement type thing. And then we had a meeting with a connection in the industry at the time, and they told us of a group of vintage racing enthusiasts that were trying to save a building from complete city demolition. And we're like, sure, let's go check it out.
marriage made in heaven. There you go.
So what
Yes.
buildings were actually on the site when you bought it?
So when we first saw it, it was basically this footprint that we're in right now, this very large space.
Okay.
But there was a skylight above us here, and it was broken down. There was the original windows that looked like those were all broken in, and I mean there was graffiti. It was just
Well, it was a fire.
dilapidated.
It was a burnout. I mean, the fire had been here.
There had been a lot of things
Yeah.
here. Yeah, and then there was like a carport that connected from here over to the house, and it was a long journey. We saw it back in 2016. Took a long time to get open, and while we were working on getting this bigger space open, which was the Boyle Racing headquarters back in the 30s and 40s, we went ahead and started brewing in the house over there.
Well, that's what I thought, because I saw a piece either on Fox 59 or WTHR about the house. I thought, oh, that is a crazy place.
But they
for,
were brewing. They were brewing in the basement, if I remember
for
right.
2 years.
For 2 years.
My husband would get a lot of steps. We would mill on the top floor and bring it all the way down.
Oh, my
In that
gosh.
little space, he'd get like 10,000 steps or more in a day.
Courtney Guggenberger has joined us. She and her sister, Abby, decided to open a brewery. Just really good. So who's the business person in the family?
We've all kind of become the business people. I have a marketing background, so I do our marketing and sales and focus on more of the business side. My brother-in-law has business analyst background, so he focuses on that side of
Oh,
it
yeah.
as well.
Is everybody in the business full time, or is there still?
For family,
Yeah, for
the four of
family.
us, we're all full time.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband's full time brewer. He was a former, or still is, mechanical engineer. And then
Hey, he's one of us, Pat. I mean, I'm a plumbing contractor, so yeah, mechanical. That's
Yep.
cool.
There's a lot of plumbing involved back there.
I bet
that is-
so.
Don't say any more, kids. So you always like to look at people's pipes.
I will.
No.
gladly-
It's kind of strange.
Yeah,
I'll
don't-
gladly
It's
give you a
very
tour.
weird.
Don't make eye
Courtney-
contact.
Yeah, that's all right.
Look any more at him.
Kylie was telling us, your events coordinator, was telling us that you got 3 different venues here.
We do.
What is the total, occupancy that you can do for people who want to have
Sure.
a wedding reception or just a party?
Yeah, so in the fest hall, around 100 is a really comfortable size for a wedding. We've done up to like 150, 180 almost when you combine the fest hall with the Boyle Racing Garage,
Okay.
which is really nice. The Boyle Racing
Yeah.
Garage is a nice option for groups around 50.
And that's the coolest place. As a race fan, that room in there is so special.
Yeah,
For race fans.
Wilbur Schaff drove for Boyle, and he won in 39 and in 40. He won a third time, but I can't remember. But I can't remember.
But he wasn't with Boyle, but
He wasn't
he's a
in Boyle at
three-time
that
winner.
time. But it's a beautiful and
Where'd you get the transporter?
So that's when I mentioned early on that there's a group of vintage racing enthusiasts
Yeah.
that we're looking to save it. They helped rehab that.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yes,
they didn't just rehab it. That's
it's pretty
museum
cool.
quality.
It's rebuilt, yes,
Yeah.
in the original frame.
Love it.
And it's our way of honoring the legacy of the Boyle Racing team. So
Well, thank you for the
That's so
hospitality
cool.
here. This is really good to get men in here. Our rule, men are stupid, learn to work around it. And what you've done is you've combined food and beer for them to come in and get all these screenings. with St. Francis.
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
We
You'll
are
get
happy
see
to
the
do
game.
it.
You'll get to see the game.
Are you
You've got
guys-
the game on the big screens, and
Yes.
everybody will
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to see the IU game coming up at noon.
There's
Are you
even some
guys
games-
open 7 days a week or?
We're open 6 days a week. We're closed Mondays, but we're
Monday?
open Tuesday through Sunday. We have a coffee house right across.
We need to
the
go
beer
over there and
garden
look
right
at the
there.
We have to
coffee
do
house.
it.
Did you already look at that place, Pat? The coffee house?
No,
We should
because
go there.
I saw you go in there and then come out, and I just followed you in.
Courtney, thanks
You
for
always know where you're
Courtney
going.
Guggenberger, one of the
Thank you.
sisters.
This is
and,
so cool.
Yeah,
This
thanks.
is really nice. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Okay, and
thanks
thanks
for
for the
having me.
hospitality and making this available to the men of Indianapolis. This is a
Anytime.
great idea.
Very cool. All right, we're coming right back. We are at Gugman House on Gent Street, which is kind of by the old Busch Stadium. And this starts at 11 o'clock. We'll have more details when we come back. 93 WIBC.
Well, the scene of the crime is Gugman House, and it is a men's Movember screening. Franciscan's
A
Health.
Movember to remember.
They have put together an event
See
here
what I
for
did there?
all the different types of screenings that we all need if we're men. You know, I always say that men are stupid. You need to learn to work
You said
around
that
it.
3 times
I know,
today.
but I want to emphasize it. People understand it. But come on over. There's no charge for this. If you get at least 3 screenings, you're going to get a sandwich and a beer. Now, you can't beat that for just somebody, answering your questions about pulmonary function. Maybe you want to test your strength and your balance. Maybe we're going to do a prostate cancer risk assessment here in the 11:15 hour. We got an Ask the Nurse for GI and digestive health. You would be surprised how many men have digestive problems and just suck it up. They don't want to figure out what it is. Their wives are bugging them, but they're not going to go to the doctor, Pat.
You would be surprised how many men would come out and do 3 of these screenings just to get a free lunch and a beer.
They do have Ask a Doc about health, nutrition, exercise, Ask an Expert about clinical research trials. If you've always wanted to be a part of a trial, whether it's for oncology, which is cancer, or maybe just health in general, this is the place to be. But we are at 1700 North Gent Street. Now, Gent is
Gent.
it's just a short
It's a
street.
gent.
Comes right off 16th Street, very close to Old Busch Stadium. And, this is a great place to be. And my thanks to the Franciscan people. This
Yes.
is really a good deal.
And you're going to hear you'll hear Hammer, Nigel. They'll be here. You'll also hear your friends from the Fan.
JMV
will be here.
Jake Query.
Jake.
Kevin's going to be here.
Yep.
We're going to have. In fact, I don't know how we're going to keep them quiet. To get that many mouths in a short period of.
No, dude. My plan is I'm going to hook them up and let it go at them.
We
I'm
can go
going
over
to
to the beer.
slide out
We'll
of
get
here.
a sandwich and a beer.
That's
No,
right.
It'd be really worth it.
Absolutely.
All right, 1700 North Gent Street, and we've got some more interviews for you coming up. But Pat, you're holding a pair of lungs in your hands. You would be surprised.
I thought
how
those
many-
were kidneys.
No, those are lungs.
Oh,
but they're kind of
geez.
small. I think it's interesting that not going to say most, but there is a high percentage of people who are diagnosed with lung cancer who have never smoked,
Yeah.
who have never been around a smoker. And so don't think that just because you're not a smoker, you don't need a
that
lung
radon?
assessment. I don't know. Well, radon, it depends on the concentration. The picocuries per liter used to be like 26. That was a limitation. Now it's sort of gone even lower than that before you need to get the radon, mitigation going. But
You okay?
I'm fine.
You seem like you need a pulmonary
If you always wonder,
examination there.
RFK Jr. has come into the Trump administration and for Health and Human Services. And one of the things he's been talking about a lot is immunizations. There's a lot of controversy about it. If you want some straight scoops, they also have somebody here who has expertise in immunizations, a Franciscan Health immunization team.
Terry, where have you been?
I've been talking to JJ the Candyman.
Okay, well, that's great.
Sounds
you
like a dope
You can
dealer.
do that on your own time. I told you not to leave me alone with him.
I came back because I heard his voice, and I thought I don't hear Pat, so
But
I'm
did
going
you
to come
see-
over and see
did
what's
you-
happening.
When he was talking, he lost his breath. I think he needs a pulmonary examination.
Should we take it back to the clinic?
No. He got nervous when I said picocuries per liter. That's when he glazed over and he said, "Where's Terry?"
Boy.
The
Terry?
problem with picos is sometimes they're too spicy.
I had pico last night.
Did you
know
really?
what?
Had some pico. Pico was delivered to the station yesterday.
Speaking
from
of
Chewy's.
men's health, do you know what pico is in Spanish?
Pico means
It's a kid-
tomatoes.
It means bird beak, but it's an affectionate term for a little boy's penis.
Oh,
I'm just telling you. You want to know?
With you.
Jeez.
I'm telling you what pico is.
Well, what? So when
It's-
I'm eating the pico de gallo, what is?
Yeah, well, it's bird beak. Okay, pico is a bird beak. But I'm
Hey,
trying to
little
broaden
boy.
your horizon.
peekaboo.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I don't know.
See, that's why he called you back
First
over here,
we-
Terry.
The things we learn.
Oh,
the
from
things
Denny.
We
This-
In the
learn.
weeds.
This in
4
Weeds
hours
could
straight.
practically be its own
Oh
show.
my gosh, where's Dr. Keller? Bring her back.
Yeah.
She,
Hey, I tell you what, we're going to have Jules, who's going to help us with
I love
prostate.
I love her. Oh my
music.
gosh.
With prostate
And the
assessment.
tooth.
You know, she started as a yodeler.
And then
Oh,
we're going to
yes,
have
yes.
Yeah.
a little
I
bit
used to
later in the
yodel as
11
a
o'clock
kid.
hour, we're going to have John
Did you really?
Jansen to talk about
Yodelay,
oral
yodelay,
cancer
yodelay.
How old
screening.
do you think she is?
You guys ever listened, or did you always talk?
We're having
try-
Jewel on.
We enjoy each other's company.
We're trying to. Jules,
Jewel
Jules,
is.
Hi,
we're
Jewel,
going to be
come
ready in
over
about
here.
5 minutes. This is Jules. We'll put her over
We
here.
love
Come
your-
over here and practice,
we
because
love your
listening to
music.
these two magpies is going to be tough on you. Anyway, she's going to help us with what a prostate assessment is all about. Now,
Oh,
Pat,
okay.
every man's got one.
All right.
You've got 3.
I'm going to go take some pictures.
You're going to go take
No,
some
don't. You
pictures.
can't leave me here with him.
Jules.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
They get a little bit nervous when we talk scientific. That's the only issue.
We're gonna talk to Jewel. What does Jewel do again?
Jewel is a nurse, and she's going to put her headset on here, and we're going to sort of tease
we're
what
doing
this
it
is
now.
all about.
Okay.
All right, Jules.
There you go.
Hi, Jewel.
You can help. You can hear us, can't you?
Morning.
Oh,
There we
Good
go.
morning.
Hi.
Well, we're going to be talking about prostate assessments, and you've got the nasty job of being able to explain that to a bunch of
We
men who
love
don't want to be
We love
here.
your music.
Jewel.
You're a horse
Actually,
woman.
I am a musician, but
Are you really?
I am not Jewel. Yeah.
What do you play?
I play the bass.
No
Really?
kidding.
Yes, I do.
Are you in a band?
We have our worship team band, and it's amazing.
All right.
Really?
At Garfield Christian Church.
Are
You
you a
guys
slap bass, or do you just finger bass?
Finger bass.
Do you
Finger bass.
do any
4-string.
probably at Christmas or something like that? Do you do any crowd surfing
No.
in church?
During the
No?
holidays?
Well, I thought
Just,
sometimes
is
at
that
a-
just holidays?
Sometimes
Jewel,
at a special
I really
service.
I really tried to warn you about this, Jewel, but
That's
I
okay.
couldn't.
Sometimes in a really special service around the holidays, some of the church bands will actually do some crowd surfing.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
not at her church.
People will
Not
do
at
anything
hers,
to
so-
get
Yeah.
their keep
What church
from
are
getting
you
their
at?
prostate.
Garfield Christian Church.
Okay.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
on,
Very cool.
yes, Raymond and Keystone.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, bass player.
Okay, so what are we talking about when we come back?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about recommendation for prostate cancer early detection.
Okay. Okay, so we'll do that when we come back because we have to kill a minute. Did you hear him say 1 minute?
Actually, about
So-
45 seconds now.
45
Pat.
seconds. So do you have any stories or anything?
About
a joke?
prostates?
Maybe a joke. You have any prostate jokes?
Something to make you laugh.
Now you only
Jewel,
have 35
do not
seconds.
take the bait. Listen to your brother
So-
Denny. Do
What
not
about-
take the bait.
You want
Close
to talk
your mouth.
about your family or anything? It's like we don't have a lot of time. But
Married,
I mean,
6 children, 14
you
grandchildren.
have six. You have
yes,
6.
4 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, that is so exciting.
Looky here, countdown.
So we only have
Yeah,
10
this is
seconds.
countdown.
You want to share a secret? 10 seconds. You want to share a secret? You have a secret you want to share? All right. Hour number 3 is coming up. 93
Can't wait.
WIBC.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys. That really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools. Power tools.
Hey, good morning. Welcome. My name is Pat.
I'm Denny Paul.
My friend Denny Paul. Cam is our field engineer here at Gugman House on Gent Street.
Ethan Patterson is back in studio. Terry Lynn Stacy is out being the queen of the ball here.
Told her not to leave me alone with you.
And joining us right now is a pretty neat lady. It's going to be hard to intimidate her in any way, but Jewel is here,
Jewel.
and she's going to talk about
You started
what
as
we
a
do.
yodeler.
Yeah. No
Let me-
yodeling.
You yodel when you get the prostate
Hey,
exam,
Kevin
but that's
Bo-
about the only thing.
Hey, sports guys. Kevin Bowen is here right now, too. I heard Jake is somewhere in the house, Jake Query. Here's Kevin. And Kevin is going to actually drop his drawers so we can check
Kevin doesn't know what to say to you right now. Hey, Kev, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Just in true Pat Sullivan fashion, I wouldn't expect anything else. I asked you guys if we were on camera. You know, I figured that's what would be the big appeal.
Well, I want to go right to Jewel.
Jewel, do you have a glove?
No, I did not
you
bring any
let the
gloves with
woman
me
talk?
today.
This is important.
I can do it without.
All right, Jewel.
You can do it without the glove.
When you're doing an assessment here on Gent Street, tell us what you are asking and what you are looking for, because everybody's worried about prostate cancer.
Sure. It's just as important that we ask these questions just as if we were going to see a child or a female patient or whatever, the prostate. Any prostate cancer in your family, any history, of any prostate cancer to your immediate family, such as your father.
All right, Pat.
Yep.
Did your dad have prostate cancer?
He did not.
All right, so there's one.
Hot. Okay, so, and we go by guideline of age determination of when do you get a blood test to see the first level.
For prostate-specific antigens.
That is correct. That's
PSA.
your PSA.
Right.
I get that every year.
Yes.
So it's just a simple
year.
blood test.
It is a simple blood
But
test.
what
That's
age?
what makes
Because
it so
look at
easy.
Kevin. He's just he's a baby face.
Yeah.
So at what age do you
35
start?
years old. I feel like I am very close to that, right?
Okay. So if you have no family history, no elevated high risks, you can start at age 50.
There you go, Kev.
Without
15
any
years of
family
freedom,
history.
brother.
15 years.
Yeah.
But there was a lot else on the sheet that I feel like it's good to come out and just
It is.
So what
be
else is on the
proactive
sheet?
about it.
Yes, and you should always do your own exams, just like we do with younger males. For testicular cancer, we got to look out for all those risks, just like a woman. You know?
What the hell are you talking about?
You can't do your own prostate exam?
What do you think we're some sort of acrobats or
Just a
something?
minute. This is so important for men and
is.
women to hear too, because we
Okay.
love men. So tell
We do.
How do they check it? Is there something we can do? What do we do?
Not for the women, but the man itself. You know,
The
when
man,
you
right?
when you are young, you are a teenager, your healthcare
When
provider.
you're more flexible?
You need to be
will,
quiet. This is important.
Will instruct you on how to do the testicular exam yourself in the shower or whatever. You're checking for nodules, abnormalities.
Oh, okay.
You're checking
I
for
thought you were
anything.
checking your
Okay,
prostate.
so you're checking your
No,
goodies,
no.
but you're not checking your prostate.
So that's when you're
Okay.
younger, and as you
Okay.
get older,
All right,
Yeah.
Kevin, we're doing the prostate. You got to check your nut.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I
It's
didn't know if I
called
needed
Know
to be
Your
a trapeze artist to get back there.
This
or
woman's
what?
got 16 grandchildren. You're not going to intimidate this one. All right, go ahead, Jewel. What else are we
14.
checking?
So anyway, it does go by 3 ages that we just really focus in on, and if for men that are age 40, those with men that have first degree relatives that have prostate cancer, those are the times that you need your blood test to be checked.
Okay.
You can also have a direct exam by your PCP.
What's your PCP?
Your PCP
Primary
is
care
your primary
I thought
care
that was a
provider.
drug.
That is
PCPs.
correct.
No, it's
You
a
gotta-
Yeah,
type of
it
cancer
is.
causing plastic.
So now there's been in the news that sometimes that they're thinking that you don't need to have that exam as often anymore. I mean, you get your PSA checked, but
Yes.
the actual
It's called a digital exam.
Yes,
There you go.
Yes, a rectal digital
Yeah.
exam. Those are performed by the PCP, your PCP, and they will make the decision because they'll take another risk assessment, see what's going on.
Okay.
If
All
you
right, now
have any
Jewel
complaints.
joins us from St. Franciscan, and I've got to ask this question. When they're doing, every man knows this. They put the glove on, they put the lubricant on, they go up there. They're up there for maybe 1 second.
No.
How do they know what they're? Yeah, how can you do anything in 1 second?
They are very well trained.
They're trained.
on doing examinations.
That's what they go to school for, Denny.
You know what?
How many of those do you have to do to be well trained? Do you get a journeyman license?
Let's
I
talk.
think that's a strange curiosity you have.
Well,
we-
Terry, you obviously have not had a DRE.
Can we-
Oh, well, listen, I've had my fair shares of.
Hey, can we talk about Kevin's nuts again?
GYN, right?
Because,
Thank you.
Kevin says it's his soap and he'll wash them as much as he wants.
Hey,
Okay.
all right.
Denny's lost his mind.
He has lost his mind. You know, I asked my doctor one time, I said, why is the checking the prostate always the last thing in an
So
exam?
you want to leave the room.
And the doctor said, because we don't want to do it either.
Yeah,
I'm sure they don't.
Exactly. It's just I think it's just uncomfortable for everybody. You know?
Yeah.
But you got to go in there that it is a life saving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's life-saving.
There's no
It is
reason.
life saving.
Jewel, I will say that. And
It's
for
simple.
those men who have a lady doctor, do not panic. Remember, ladies' fingers are much smaller
Will
than
you
men's.
stop with that?
Hey, We're talking about the obvious here. Look at Kevin. He's shivering like a dog passing fish hooks.
Okay, let's get back to Kevin's nuts.
I'm just all ears here. I'm just here to take notes and observe. And
You look frightened.
Think
I
about-
won't lie to you. You look terrified.
He is pacing left to right.
I will say when Terry was like, put a headset on, I was like, oh boy, is there anybody else I can interact with before?
When I actually said that, he goes, let me go find Jake.
All right, Jewel, how do they find you when they go to Franciscan Health? How do they find your division if they want to get screenings like this?
First of all, it comes by the provider.
Okay.
They're going to do the risk assessment. They're going to do the DRE. They're going to order the lab draw for the PSA. However, I work in radiation oncology, so I'm the person that receives the patient that has a diagnosis of cancer.
Okay.
Oftentimes, this is one that is, if you find it early, that this is.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
Can be,
We've come a long way. We've come a long way.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, we have. We have more techniques, more medicine, more procedures.
So catching it early.
Yes, and Franciscan Health, radiation oncology, and the medical oncology department has so many tools, more medications to treat. With chemotherapy, immunotherapy, but it is a big process, just like with any type of cancer. There is a
Scary
protocol
when you hear it.
that we
It's
have
scary
to go
when you
by.
get that diagnosis, but if
Absolutely.
it's caught early, this is one. And this is why the self-examinations and everything is so important.
Very important.
Jewel, thanks for coming by. I'm sorry
Thanks,
we had
Jewel.
to
Welcome.
put you through all
Again,
this, but
Could
thank
I
you.
interject with one?
Yeah, go ahead.
And again, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but from a men's cancer standpoint,
Yes.
percentage of prostate. You're talking all men's cancer, all cancer.
In their lifetime, how many people would...
Yeah, I mean, just population.
I do
what
not
would you say?
have the specifics of that percanages.
More curiosity than anything on my end.
I have seen studies where in more regions of the United States are higher, unfortunately,
Yeah.
than other states. So, yeah.
Seems like the
Those
longer they
with,
live, it seems like, as men get, really up in years, like everybody seems to get.
But here's the good
prostate
news.
cancer.
Life expectancy in the United States is age 78. It has been there for a while. But imagine that. If you're 50, didn't have any problems before, and then all of a sudden you have a problem, And this is where we go
It's only
forward.
78?
It's only 78.
Jewel, you need to take your headset off and leave.
I know.
Golly, 78.
Well,
it has really
average,
not
so-
changed. It really hasn't.
Wow.
One of the questions a physician asks now, okay, so we're living longer, but are we living healthier?
That is a really good point.
This is interesting.
Are we really?
As far as what Kevin asked, prostate cancer is common, second only to skin cancer as the most common cancer affecting men.
Interesting.
And that's why we're here.
That's a biggie.
That's why we're here.
It's a big one.
Yes.
Well, come on out. We're at 1700 North Gent Street, just north of 16th Street. If you remember Bush Stadium, the old Vic, we're just north of that.
The old Vic.
And it's the
his neighborhood,
Goodman House Brewing
Some
Company.
Coon Stadium action as well. The old
Oh,
Coon
yeah.
Stadium.
I
I guess that's right. I guess that's right. But we are at Goodman House Brewing Company. Come on in. If you get 3 assessments, if you get 3 of them, they give you a little ticket, so you're going to get something to eat, and you get $10 towards beer. So what the heck?
Sounds like a great Saturday to me. TV is on for those curious.
Oh, boy,
We've got a
for the
big
game?
football game at noon, so
Right.
TV is on.
All right, Jewel, thank you very much.
You're very
We appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you for asking.
So we'll check in with some of the other experts from. Don't go anywhere, Kevin. Don't go anywhere. Put those headphones back on.
Thinking, can I get a bathroom break maybe here?
You just got here, man.
I think I've been called into the other room.
No.
We have a fan gathering meeting in the other room
Well,
here.
hey, listen.
I'm infiltrating over here with WIBC.
We are doing you guys a favor by coming out here and covering your rear ends when you could not fulfill the commitment that you made to Franciscan Health. You let IU football. You got pushed around by IU.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So how do you see the game today?
I think IU's got a great chance. I do. I don't think this is your typical Ohio State team.
Okay.
And I think the bye week is huge for Indiana coming off the bye week. Important. That Michigan team, I think, kind of beat IU up a little bit in the second half. So very important for IU to have that. And I'm surprised that for our bettors out there, that Vegas has the line at north of 10 points.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was at 13.5 at one point. I think it's now closer to 10. I expect Indiana to keep it a one-possession game.
I can't remember a bigger, I mean, the momentum coming into this game and all the attention and all the media and everything. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it for IU football in my whole life, I don't think.
Kevin, IU is killing our business on Saturday.
Oh,
that has never happened in the history of our company.
Yeah.
IU football is hurting
so
our business. It's crazy.
Right.
It's really fun.
You were used to Notre Dame football potentially doing that. Yeah, for Indiana football in the month of November. I mean,
in the month of November.
We only got 2 weeks.
Right.
If they win today, they're at Lucas Oil Stadium in 3 weeks for the Big Ten championship.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun? Crazy fun?
That would be crazy. What's Ohio State's record?
They have one loss, so they lost at Oregon, who's the number 1 team in the land. Okay. So, yes, an Indiana win today, and this is assuming Indiana beats Purdue next week in the bucket game. Yes, Indiana would clinch a spot in the Big Ten championship, and then they would play for the number 1 overall seed in this new playoff bracket. It's a 12-team bracket, and a win today also would increase potential likelihood of them hosting a playoff game, which would be December 20th or 21st in Bloomington.
Wow, that's it really is. I mean,
you grew up here, Pat. I mean, you know full well the shock and awe, both of you two. I mean,
it's so fun.
We're talking about Indiana football.
Yeah.
On November 23rd.
Never
all the
on
pregame
the
shows are there. College Game Day, Fox's, Big Noon Kickoff. They're all there because of what Kurt Cignetti has done.
We just reordered IU football ornance.
Oh, smart.
Probably for the first time ever.
We normally just
usually it's a gag gift.
Yeah,
and now people want it on the front of the tree.
It's like they compact it. They compact in 12. We were like, hey, can you break the case? Can we just get like 4?
Right,
just the 4. But how cool is that? All right.
I've never known a time though. Purdue, right? So Purdue, how did they do last night in Michigan? Right?
They actually made it competitive. They lost, but they lost 24-17. They were down 24-3 at half. And this is how crazy it is with IU right now. Usually, they just slot the bucket game in at noon.
Yeah.
And nobody worries about it. And now they haven't made a decision on it yet because they want Indiana more in a primetime slot.
Has there ever been a time when IU and Purdue, whether that's basketball or football, I'm thinking football goes back to whatever years ago, but that they were both great. And there was this
basketball,
awesome.
certainly you've had moments,
but
football, I mean, eons.
No.
We were talking to the great Scotty Johnston at, with us earlier this week. I go, when's the last time we've had a night bucket game? Next week could be a 7:00 night Purdue Indiana game, and he couldn't find it at all. Now, obviously, you didn't have lights at Ross-Ade and Memorial Stadium for all these years, but that's where we're at right now. It is crazy. It is absolutely wild.
All right, we're going to check in with our friends from the Fan a little more coming up, but we're going to take a break. We're coming right back. 93 WIBC. Hey, good morning. Welcome back. My name is Pat Sullivan. Denny Smith is here. Terry Stacy is here. We are at Gugman House on Gent Street, and we're here for Franciscan Health Movember.
The place is packed. There's plenty of room.
Is there a lot of people over there?
Yeah, we're going to do an oral cancer screening with Dr. John Jansen, but he is swamped, so we're going to beg off and maybe get your friend Dan Mark,
Danny,
the physical therapist.
Yep.
So we get him in here.
Dr. Danny. Terry Stacy joins us. Hi, Terry.
Hi, I went to go get my big drink.
Oh.
Your big drink.
And also to talk to, people are arriving. It's a good one.
This is a
good one.
There's no wait. I mean, it really is. It's a seamless operation.
They've done this before.
Yeah. It's like a hospital.
Indy Durham is here. You can get skin cancer treatment. They got pulmonary function where you can check if you've got enough lung function. They've got Ask a Nurse. Pat, every once in a while says he's got an upset stomach.
Oh, we should go get her and quiz her.
Yeah. Cardiac
what
rehab.
happens if my uvula is swollen again?
Right,
if you want your blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol screenings, they can do all those while you're here. I just think
wonder
it's
if
really
my
neat.
blood pressure spikes during this show.
We should check. We should just hook you up the whole time.
I'll tell you when his blood pressure spikes. It's just before the train starts and just before the
the Sullivan Express train is underway.
Oh, I know you can watch on video.
Are there any tickets left? That's
going.
what people always want to know. Any tickets left?
Well, yes. We have midnight on Thursday. No. There are tickets during the day as you get closer to Christmas. We are looking to see if we can squeeze some more tickets in, more hours in. We always have to just be really careful because it does overwhelm our business. So, like right now, we're just running at half capacity.
Yeah.
That's the first
because you got
week.
people coming in still to buy trees and wreaths and
And as the day goes on, then we go from now. I think this weekend, because it's early, we're running half capacity both Friday or Saturday and Sunday, and then but like Black Friday we'll start at half capacity, then we'll pick up 3/4, and then full capacity like at 5 in the afternoon.
What time you open on Black Friday?
You know what? We're actually going to open at 7:30, just 30 minutes early, because just to give people a little bit of time before the train starts, so that we're actually putting out a kind of a little calendar for our shoppers, so they know about when the train, when to when is a good time to come, when you should probably avoid it, because when we're at full capacity, it's
very helpful.
Pretty overwhelming, yes. So now we're gonna are we getting food?
Do you want to get some food?
I'm buying.
I wanted to see what they had because it's German, so you wondered what they had. It's German food.
We're at the Guggenheim House, 1700 on Gent Street, right just north of 16th Street. But it's a great place to bring your husband for all the screenings that he's ignoring you about because he's afraid it's going to cost something. And it's absolutely free today.
Yeah.
Absolutely free.
It could be any man in your life.
Oh, it could be grandpa, could be dad, brother.
Well, yeah. I'm taking Pat as soon as we go off
Dad
air.
could bring his adult son.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Drag his rear end over here.
That's right.
Or maybe it's the adult son taking dad, saying, come on, Dad, let's go do this thing. We'll have lunch. We'll have beer, because if you do 3 of the screenings, you will get free lunch.
Right.
And you will also get something for a
gift certificate.
beer?
And they're giving gifts $10.
Oh, for a beer.
Yeah, for a beer. And then they've also got, everybody's got all kinds of goodies for you to take away with you. They get you a gift bag when you come in. And then the food is good. We've got IU that will, at noon, will be on the large screens that they've got everywhere while you're having your prostate moment. You've still got the game on.
What happened?
Right.
Nothing. It's just my prostate. No, they're not doing.
The first 200 people to complete their screenings will receive a free meal ticket and a $10 gift card to Guggenheim House Brewing Company.
There you go.
Okay, so it's first 200. You have to be among the first 200.
Oh yeah.
And then
There's
still
still time.
If it's over 200, Danny and I'll cover it.
They will. They'll get you a tofu barbecue.
Tofu barbecue?
Braised tofu tossed in barbecue sauce and topped with pickles and onions, served on a bun for $13.
That's a waste of charcoal.
You know what?
Some people love them.
They do. And I will tell you, it was when Mr. Rogers took us to the tofu factory.
Did you go to tofu factory?
With Mr. Rogers.
Oh, with Mr. Rogers, God rest his soul.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers took us. The 2 factories I think that I really like that Mr. Rogers took us to: the raincoat factory, yellow raincoat factory, and the tofu factory.
That's enough of that.
That changed my life a little bit.
You've learned.
Did we say that we were brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation?
Yeah, water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Pat Sullivan, Denny Smith, Terry Stacy. Allison is out of the country on a little vacation, and we are here at Guggenheim House.
Yeah, Guggenheim House.
It's a brewery.
Right?
It's a brewery company
on Gent Street, which just so happens plays into this whole thing of Movember and Franciscan Health and this big thing we got going here. And we are joined by Jake Query.
Jake, how are you?
I like how Pat had this big introduction of every scene set, and then it was like,
and
by the way, here's Jake. We don't have anything to say about him. We don't know much about him.
These two always brag that they were the ones that screened you. Yeah, see, it's like a pledge
We hired
class.
Jake. Where did we take you to perform for us?
I thought it was a bowling alley, Jake.
I do know this. Answer. That was so for those that are unaware, which I would assume are most. I worked for 14 days with both of you. Like 20 years ago. But so I was hired at WIBC. That was my first radio job because I'd worked in TV. And my audition, I really was like, I didn't really know what was going on. And they said, well, if you want to go and just read sports highlights a couple times an hour at the Boat Sport and Travel Show.
Oh, that's it. It was a Boat Sport and Travel Show.
The Boat Sport and Travel Show. And
okay.
So I went and did it, and I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, but I thought, well, I'll just do this. And I will say, like both of you, I don't know, like I immediately felt like I'd known both of you for a long time. Pat, you always made me giggle, which I think probably helped lighten the mood. But so anyway, so they hired me, and then
we did.
And then like 6 weeks later, they came back into both of you, and you said, no, we don't like him. And so then they let me go.
No.
But they brought me back. So
It
that's
wasn't 6 weeks.
No, I was against that, by the way. And
Totally against it. We
I
were
fought
good. No, it was
hard.
you know what it was? It was at Kent Sterling. He fired me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He
Your
hired me and
friend.
fired me. That's
We
right.
we are here for male screenings. And a couple years ago,
You
I
were
don't
a
know how
threat
long-
to him.
Just,
You were a threat to him.
Stop just a minute.
They screamed me out, is what they did.
I got a phone call once and said, "Did you hear that Jake had a heart attack?" And I said, "Jake Query, he's 48. I don't know how old
That's
you were."
exactly right. I was
48.
48. Yep.
And I teared up because I didn't know what the hell had happened. But Jake, tell this story and why these screenings are so important.
Well, I can assure you that I both teared up and didn't know what happened either, right? And I appreciate that, Denny. So, you know, the easiest way I can say it is this. So I had a 100% blockage in what's called the widowmaker, but and I learned this in the process, obviously. You have arteries coming off of your heart that go in different areas, right?
The widowmaker is the left anterior descending, and that's the
Correct.
one that got you.
And that's the one that feeds the blood and the oxygen back into your heart, right? So your heart needs that to thrive. So I had a 100% blockage on that, and I tell people the thing that I've learned, there are two ways that you can get an artery block in your heart, essentially. And the easiest way to think of it is, for you guys, for a gardening show, if you think of a garden hose, you either can get a lot of dirt and sediment that just over time accumulates inside the hose, and eventually it just kind of clogs it. You don't get as much water coming out. Or you can just shove a rock right in the middle of it and block it. I had the block. I had an instantaneous block.
Which is a calcium. It fell off, a blood clot,
Correct.
but it
So I
hung
had
on to something.
Correct. So I had a rogue piece of calcium that broke free. So it was hanging onto the wall of my artery, and then one day it decided it was going to break free, and it was floating in the river, scraped the wall, so it made outside contact with turn 4 on the wall, right?
Got it.
And then when it did that, most people, your heart knows that that's the one area where you can't clot. You know, if you cut your finger, you get a blood clot for obvious reasons. But my heart, not shockingly, wasn't as smart as others, and so therefore it decided to clot.
Did you cough to break off that calcium? Was it just you were just doing something?
No, it's a good question because I remember going in, Denny. So I was at dinner, and it happened instantly. I felt my left arm get completely numb, not gradually, but instantly. It felt like the tightest tourniquet I'd ever had on my arm. And I knew right then what was happening, essentially. So I got to the hospital. My friend drove me there. I walked in and said, I'm having a heart attack. They confirmed that's what it was. And so then they had to do the angioplasty. So at that point, I did ask, so when did this happen? Because I was wondering if, like, gosh, was this in March? And he said, no. It happened the second you felt it. It was an instantaneous sensation. So there was nothing I felt that precipitated it. But the thing that I encourage everybody to do, aside from the obvious, which would be, you don't want to be a smoker, which I was not. You don't want to be, obese, which I was
You were
not,
working out all the time. You were in shape.
Yeah, but I had, and Denny, I knew for a long time, my family genetics were especially on the male side. My dad had a heart attack. Thankfully, he's still living, but he had his at the age of 49, so I beat him by 6 months.
Wow,
My uncle had a heart
amazing.
transplant. My grandfather had a stroke, so I knew that was stacked against me, and that's probably why I worked out as much as I did. But one of the things that people can do is a very simple, non-invasive heart screening. Franciscan Health provides them for $49.
Yep.
You can self-refer. You get a heart health risk assessment with it for just $49. And it takes literally 15, 20 minutes. You go in. They can take a look at your heart and find out if you have that calcium buildup and whether or not you are at risk for going through something like that.
It's so easy, and it's $49. I mean, there's just no reason why you couldn't. And again, no doctor referral.
Can we do that on Pat's brain to see if
You know what I
brain's
did, though?
stuck?
I just said, hey, I only have 40, and they took it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Got it
Right,
for
because they
40.
just want people to be okay. They want you to know,
Yeah.
but it's such a simple, easy procedure to have done, and for $49,
it's nothing. I
gotta
mean-
be. It's less than. I mean, and $49, that's probably less than having a tooth filled or something.
Jake, you've been the spokesman for Franciscan for a while.
Right.
You're really speaking well for them.
Well, I will say, Denny, when you go through what I did, and I will, I mean, it was 40 minutes of hell. That's what I tell people, right? Because it was from the time that I had the blockage to the time that they were able to open my heart back up was about 24 minutes.
And
They
you
call
were
that
were you scared to
blockage the
death?
balloon. I wasn't. And because I remember going in, and they came in, and they explained what was going on. And I said, okay, so what you're telling me is here I'm probably going to die, right?
Oh, God.
And he said, well, the next 15 minutes is the most critical 15 minutes you've ever had, right? And so I thought, okay. And my first thought was, I got a lot of crap at my place that my parents are going to have to clean out, and that's a little embarrassing that they're going to see how sloppy I am, right? So that was literally
Plus
my
find
first
all that
thought.
stuff you hid.
Yeah. That's right, exactly, right? And that's the other thing is Dave First is my cleanup guy. And
I was
going to
say, who's your cleanup guy?
And I'm like, oh, gosh, Dave's in Florida. I don't have anybody to get anything out. But Denny, at the risk of sounding too, preachy here, the one thing I will say, there are two ways that you can prepare for something like that. One is the physical aspect of it, which is what we just discussed. The other is the mental aspect of it, and making sure that in that moment in that room, you don't have time for make goods. You don't have time to call people and say, you know what, I'm sorry about the issues we had, or hey, I've never told you what I think, that I care about you and that I appreciate you, those kinds of things. So you better have that taken care of before you go in there, because in that room, I just had a piece about me that, you know what, if this is it, I don't have anything that I need to go back and take care of. And I think that calm is what allowed me to walk away. But when I did, I knew that I had a responsibility and you have a survivor guilt, because my life is no more valuable, no more than people who didn't make it out, right? So you think about that, and therefore you think to yourself, the one thing that I now have a responsibility for is to try to help other people to make sure that they're not in that room.
This is Jake Query,
Jake, I just want to say
WIBC alum.
I just want to say that I love you.
Well,
because that's something that I don't think I've ever said to you.
It might be time. It might be time for a break before Pat.
Well, I just want to say, people ask me often about Jake, and because Jake and I worked together for a while, and they want to know about Jake. How's Jake doing? And I've noticed it the minute that Jake and I saw each other again after his heart attack, and that is he's really a different person in a sense of. I think you're calmer. I think and it could maybe just be.
He was
older,
always a different person.
But he's now. I mean, I think you're a kinder, gentler soul.
I am older. That's true.
But that maybe have come with age.
But it does offer a perspective.
I think
sure,
it did.
Right? You kind of learn what's important.
Right. But you've held on to that. Some people, you have the instance, the medical emergency, and you do really well for a while, and it's your mind. And then you go back to who you were. And I think for you, you're still you're very grounded and very humble about it. And you share this story often.
And he does. And he's sharing, his experience, which even for garden hoses, I think I am no longer going to have my garden hose around gravel.
Pat's trying to break this up
because
that's right.
It's like, I didn't even think about that. You don't want to have the garden hose in a bed of gravel.
And people need to know this. If they need their garden hose cleaned, and Sullivan's charging $49, you'll do it for $40.
That's right. He's offered me $40. But I hadn't even thought, well, what if a piece of gravel goes in there and jams that thing up?
Right.
I mean, you're helping so many people.
Is. Gardeners and men.
I think he was mixed up. I think he was talking about your bladder.
Too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Pat. This
is like blowing my mind.
Speaking of hoses, it's Men's Health Movember, and we're here at Guggen House, and we want you to come and see us and get some free screenings. We'll tell you more about that when we come back.
Coming right morning. Welcome back, Pat Sullivan, Terry Stacy. Denny is handing out marbles. We are joined by Hammer Nigel. Hey, Nigel.
Hey, what's up, Pat?
How you doing?
Hey, guys. Hey, Denny. Hi, Denny Smith.
Hey. How are you? Have you met my friend Dan Marks?
This is Danny Mark from
Dan.
high school. We went to Chitar together. How you doing, Dan?
I'm well, thank you. How are you, Pat?
I'm doing good. Nigel has a problem that he wants to ask a physical therapist about.
This is perfect, actually. I've had for the longest time in my right elbow.
Yeah.
Like I literally like right here on the outer edge. Like I don't know, some sort of itis. Tendonitis, tennis elbow. I couldn't, sometimes it's gotten better, Dan, but I can't pick up sometimes this
it's drinker's
right
elbow.
Without pain right here.
But Nigel, but if that was a beer, you'd be able to grab it.
I'd make it work. This is iced tea, obviously. But,
so picking up something that light is tough to do?
Even like when I lean over to get the water on my nightstand at night, and I wake up in the middle of the night, I have trouble.
God, it's a flask. You lying.
Amputation, is that?
That's an option.
Yeah.
That's an option. It definitely goes away with amputation.
All right.
Dan, look at this.
There you go.
Look, he's got his shirt off now.
I've got some swollenness. Swollen.
Oh, he's got
right
inflammation.
here.
You do. You got nice biceps.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dan.
That's exercise Inc. Dan.
That's not where the bicep's supposed to be.
No. Look, right here, some swollenness.
Can you straighten your elbow all the way
Yeah, I
out?
can try to straighten it like that. See,
Can
this
you-
is the kind of stuff you do in here.
So bend your elbow. Can you bring your wrist up like that? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hold
Is that painful?
Hold that there.
He's
not
wincing.
painful.
Hold on.
It's not
You
painful.
notice it?
Yeah.
You notice it?
a little
Let
bit.
Dan work.
Don't let me bring your hand down. So you
Hold it.
you keep it
Resist.
He's holding Nigel's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
right there.
All right. So more than likely the muscle from here that attaches here is inflamed.
Okay.
Okay.
How do I get it inflamed?
One thing to do is stretch the daylights out of it.
Oh, yeah. That feels better.
Oh, so he's pushing. He's
Push.
Look
pushing
at
his, the arm is straight out, and then Dan is pushing his hand down.
Look at that. He's got the countenance of the
Back towards
Virgin
him.
Mary.
Yeah.
He's just bending.
Long holds.
Yes.
Long holds.
Yeah, probably ice,
And
too.
lots of, you can use ice, but
Ice feels good on it.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Dan Marks,
Yeah,
the physical therapist from Franciscans. This is sort of cool.
This is kind of the thing we're doing here at Googman House today, right? Thank you, Dan.
But
You're
now,
welcome.
Yeah, put your
that's
shirt
not
back
what
on.
that's not what Danny's screening is. So that's actually $100.
Right.
Yeah, we do charge extra. If we touch you, it's extra.
Yeah.
Danny, give me 3 of those marbles to give to Dan.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Dan, what are your screenings that you're doing over there?
We are doing strength and balance screenings.
Okay.
So
Do people have to do the Karate Kid thing?
They do. They
Yeah.
do, which is
And so,
pretty
what is
fun
that?
to
You know,
see.
how long can you stand? I read something the other day on first day. We were talking about, how if you can stand for 3 seconds, then you're
With
about
your-
the age of 60.
Yeah,
If you
with
could
your
go
eyes
for-
closed.
With your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Are you doing kind of the same thing? You can really tell a lot about a person's body.
Yeah, that's dynamic balance. So the longer you can do it, the better your core strength and the better your dynamic balance.
Pat really is good at it. Would you go about 6, 7 seconds?
It's my Pilates.
Are you good at it?
Yeah.
I do Pilates 3 days a week, so I got that going for me.
Are we up to a challenge?
I don't think.
I think we're up to a challenge. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, everybody?
So hang on. So we'll do Pat's.
Now we got about a minute and a half.
Does somebody have some
I got
sort
it.
of stopwatch?
I got a clock.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Wait a
What am I
minute. Hold
doing?
on.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
So you're going to bring a leg up, and when I no, not yet.
Not yet.
When I say go, okay.
Okay.
You'll hit the stopwatch.
Okay.
You can move your arms around, you can lean and everything like that. As
1 minute.
soon I can't see his foot. So as soon as his foot touches down, hit the stop.
Okay.
All
Ready?
right. Ready? Go.
Oh, this is great radio.
This is great.
Yeah,
Everyone
this
be
is great
quiet.
radio, isn't it?
Standing
It's really
This is
good.
really, really good radio.
Are his eyes
You're really
closed?
doing
His
well,
eyes
Pat.
are open. I thought his eyes
don't-
were supposed to be closed.
Don't show
I got
off.
the-
No, not for this one.
Karate
Not for
Kid.
this one.
That's pretty good, Pat.
All right. So
Is your knee
have you really
balancing on
been
the
doing
table
Pilates a lot?
Yeah, 3 days a week.
Okay. Because that's making a difference.
I've done Pilates
Okay.
before. It's
You're
If you
doing
make
so
it
well.
If you make it past 40, we're going to stop the clock.
What's it at?
Okay.
It's at
No, wait.
29,
Yeah.
30,
29? I can do it.
Yeah.
32,
Okay.
33,
We're coming up
34.
on 15 seconds to a hard out.
Well, you know what?
You're still going.
Okay, so
He's got his
still
knee
doing
against the
it.
table.
We're making
all right,
news.
You
We're-
can stop.
All
We're
right,
making
stop.
news right here.
Okay,
Stop,
okay,
Pat.
okay.
All right, it's 93 WIBC. Come
That's
on out.
amazing. Hold on,
Dan. We're coming
Franciscan,
right back.
93 WIBC.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys. That really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools. Power tools.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Saturday's Home and Garden program brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
You leave the door open, and this is what happens.
The Hammer and Nigel show is here, so I am going to be
Hello.
leaving.
Gentlemen.
I will be leaving to
Hey,
get
let
back
me
to
tell
the
you guys
store.
something. Great radio with Jake Query from The Fan. I could not get out of my car when he was talking about his
Wasn't
heart
it?
attack.
I know.
And Hammer, you can attest to this. Like, if you're having a heart attack and you're looking at the doctor, he goes, and Jake asks the doctor, am I going to
15
die? And the
minutes.
doctor goes, yeah. That was his first word that I noticed when Jake was telling that story. Jake asked the doctor, am I going to die?
I'm not one to guarantee anything.
He
Let's
just said these next
just say,
15 minutes. These next 15
if you're
minutes.
still alive in 15 minutes, you may make it.
But just don't start off the answer to that question with, like
A shoulder shrug is not what you're looking for in that moment right there.
I think Terry said it best, but you go through life-changing events like that, and you do change. You may not want to change, or you may not feel it, but he's a different guy.
He's a different guy. I mean, I really like him.
Is that fancy talk for he used to be a little bit surly? Is that what you're saying?
Wait, my favorite when I was filling in for Pidge and Terry, and he was doing sports, he goes off on soccer.
Oh, that
and he
made
just
the
goes.
phone ring.
This is his exact words. He goes, "The only kids that play soccer are the kids that aren't strong enough to play football."
You did, and then there was an outrage.
And the lines just go like that. And I just took him live. It was like, "WIBC, good morning. I'd like to get the number so I can get that jet where it's fired."
8 lines lit up like
So
a Christmas
funny.
tree.
Remember
Oh, my
his dad called him, told him to shut up.
He did. Stop talking about that.
Yeah.
I always feel bad for like the receptionist, and Terry, you can attest to this. Like, I feel bad for whether it's Steven or whoever's at the front desk, because they're going to take phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are two guys talking about a lewd, nude dude in the news. All I want to know is there a tornado warning or not? Like,
Right.
Jason
but
Hammer
Jake
and-
has. I mean, I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would do that anymore.
No, he's a different guy. He's
Yeah.
a little older than when we first knew him when he
Yeah.
first came to us, but
Yeah,
he's
we
a
hired
different
him.
guy. We did.
Terry and I hired him.
Well, I'm as old as he is now when he had the heart attack. So
Okay.
that really struck a chord with me.
and you're way fatter, so really,
yeah.
I'm just saying, 15 minutes.
But you know what? Nigel may get a more definitive answer.
Yes.
Am I going to die? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe you're still here, to be honest with you.
I quite honestly don't want to waste any medical equipment right now.
I got the under a long time ago.
15 minutes. You should have been dead 15 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh! This is Hammer and Nigel from. Normally you hear them in the evening from 3 o'clock to what? 7 o'clock, guys.
Whenever they get tired.
Yeah.
And usually around September, we get a text from Denny. Jason will get a text that said, "Hey, hi, Denny Smith. Make sure and tell Nigel it's his dad's birthday."
Yeah,
Hi.
I worry. He's an old friend. He's a Speedway guy.
Oh my gosh.
Don't want him to forget
that was
the
such
birthdays.
a good Denny.
Nigel's Denny impression, it always
It's
sounds like
good.
his endorsement commercials.
Yeah.
Hi, Dennis Smith here. Welcome. Hi.
Hi. Hi. Nigel, it's his dad's birthday, huh?
You only got 15 minutes to live. Hi, Dennis Smith. Hi.
Hey. Use it wisely.
That's so funny.
Now
because
Denny's
good.
family friend, longtime family
Oh, yeah.
friend of the family.
There are a lot
I
of
really
texts that I get from Denny during the show that we can't even talk about.
Here's the thing.
Expletives, pictures, yeah.
At Speedway High School, the Laskowski family are famous. I mean, your uncle played the tuba. And he was,
Is that what they're
He's the famous
for?
one in the family.
he was a piece of work. I'll just say that.
Save some girls for the rest of us, Uncle Dan.
No one played that tuba like Uncle.
Uncle Dan.
He was quite the tuba
I think we
player.
called them sousaphones, but it was really the tuba. But
Every Thanksgiving, the uncle gets the tuba out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
he ended up overseas. I lost completely track.
Yeah, I think he's back now, I think. He's up Poland for a while. He's back now.
Statue of limitations ran out, so he's able to move back.
Who is that? Your uncle?
That was, my dad's brother.
Your dad's
Dan.
brother, uncle, who was so
The
famous.
famous tuba
There's
player.
Tuba player.
There are four of them. That's
There's
right.
my dad, Jeff, and then there's Dan, there's Tom, and there's Scott.
Yeah, they were
So,
much
yeah.
younger than I. But I remember his grandfather invented a gerbil cage or a.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Why didn't we lead with that?
Hey, listen.
We could talk about the tuba guy later. Somebody invented a gerbil cage?
Will you listen to the story? His grandfather was an inventor. He worked at Detroit Diesel Allison, but he was an inventor. And then he did the duplicarver, which he could duplicate anything in front of
Did
him.
you start with a gerbil cage?
He started with a gerbil cage.
Well, they all sold those gerbil cages to the local
my
pet
God.
stores back in the
they
day.
made a fortune, and then he
Was there
came up
no
with,
gerbil cage before he came along?
you know,
You just had to carry him around, Terry. It was a different time.
You know, they're not letting me honor your grandfather.
That's
I'm
all
just
right.
going to say that. Don Laskowski was a genius, and then he
Yeah, my
did
grandpa.
the Woodmiser, which was a portable bandsaw that you could take out in the woods, and they're all over. I see them on television all the time in these places.
Yeah.
So you're
but
saying
he comes from genius
your
stock.
grandfather was building generational wealth
Yes.
Yes,
through
he was.
gerbil cages.
Yeah, and
They started,
Wow.
There was some other stuff, but the gerbil, they were making the gerbil cages in the garage and selling them to the pet stores around Speedway. And
That's
stuff.
exactly
In my mind,
And then
Grandpa had him on a leash at one point and thought, there's got to be a better way.
Better way.
here's the
That's
thing:
what you're
those
thinking.
Laskowskis are genius.
and you know what? Instead
This
of
is
getting
the anomaly in the gene pool.
I was going to say, instead of getting into the family business, I hitched my wagon to Hammer.
Is that a smart guy or what?
You could have been the gerbil king.
You sure could have been.
You know,
Wow.
and that
Why am I
fam-
just now hearing this story?
I know.
You didn't know
Nige forever.
The Laskowski family are just very generous people. Covenant Christian Church or Covenant Christian School.
Yeah,
it was underwritten by those
yeah.
Gaskin. It was just a great group.
But wasn't your business right across?
We were right across the street, and
right
here's
across
the thing.
from Woodmiser was on the west 10th Street.
I'm leaving.
And when your grandfather
we can't
left,
even have a conversation.
Your grandfather left,
Yeah.
and this guy comes over and he says, "I'm from research and development. We have this toilet seat that once you put it up, once you walk away from it, it senses it and it closes slowly, but it always closes." So the ladies, and that was an invention that did not make it to market.
The toilet seat never made it to market, but you throw a lot of stuff at the wall and just see what sticks, Hammer. You know,
I'm sure teachers back in the day were like, "Boy, he sure does spend a lot of time with gerbils. What's that guy doing with those? Now, who's laughing now?"
That's right.
So, well, let me ask,
That could have expanded to guinea pigs
let me
and
ask you a
mice
serious question.
Yeah, go
serious
ahead.
question. So, what made your family's gerbil cage better than the competition?
Man, you'd have to ask my dad. I don't know. I think maybe because it was local and there was a local salesperson there, and he had all 4 of the kids. My grandpa had all 4 of the kids involved.
Yeah,
and
in the garage,
self-cleaning or anything.
In the garage.
Right.
Could you make a gerbil cage if we asked you?
I could not. I don't even know that I'd know what a gerbil was if I saw it right in front of me.
I think your grandma Phyllis. I think she was in charge of the books.
Do you have one?
They kept the boys away.
Do you have one of the families?
I don't have a gerbil.
No, but do you have one of the cages? No.
Nah, there might be one in a garage somewhere. Yeah.
Did they let you run the wood miser? Did they actually let you?
Yeah,
run
actually, last November around this time, we went out to my dad's house and he had it out there cutting up some light poles.
I love
and
that.
he let my Connor, my 13-year-old run, or my 12-year-old run.
Sorry,
yeah.
did you say he was cutting up light poles? That's not. That's not.
You can lower one of those giant wooden, power poles, whatever.
Well, but I mean.
Is he doing that legally?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of.
Putting him down?
Yeah.
Did the power company know he's doing that?
Yeah, right.
Nobody told him no.
Right.
I didn't know cutting down this power line was illegal.
Sure beats the tree.
Yeah.
It's blocking my view.
Yeah, they were great neighbors, and they had the property right across from the plumbing shop.
By Country Club Road, right?
Right. It was your grandfather. The plumbers. I never had a snowplow, but I had 80 plumbers working for me, so I bought 80 snow shovels. So when they came, the only rule was,
of course,
if you were older than 40, you couldn't be on a snow shovel.
What was the name of your plantation, Denny?
And your grandfather had a snowplow. We don't need no snowplows. We got 80 snow shovels, and we made the plumbers shovel the walks when we came.
Okay, right on.
So Indianapolis, between snow shovels and gerbils, we've got you covered here today.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that is
Hey, we need to break.
Oh,
I think
man.
we've scared poor Ethan to death.
Well, wait a minute. No, we
made it through this whole break and not a single Richard Gere joke. I feel like that's great.
No, but you know what's in the back of your head?
That's fair.
Nigel, read
I don't have my readers,
You don't
Denny.
have it.
I can't read crap.
You know,
read
the
what
other
type
thing,
of screenings
too,
we can get here today.
from this segment is we have not mentioned Franciscan health.
Well,
That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
do it
might
right
be.
now. Where we are.
So, what about this for you?
Yeah.
Pelvic health rehabilitation.
Pelvic.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
do a little
Like my pelvis? Like if I break my pelvis?
Well,
go do a
we
little
already know your
thrusting over
elbow's
there.
bad, but this will help you with your thrust.
I don't need any help in that area, I don't think.
I think it was in the movie Anchorman where Brian Fantana was
Yeah,
dating
that's
a
right.
former Chargers cheerleader who broke her pelvis.
Yes.
Oh, there's a story
There
there.
it is.
There's his story.
You can do oral cancer screening, prostate cancer risk assessment, which is read between lines. They're not putting anything up your rear.
The prostate, I was going to say, they do a blood test now for the prostate.
They do.
PSA.
That's not what they told me.
Well, I was wondering what you were doing, been out over behind the alley.
Well, I didn't think
outside.
Matt Bear was a doctor. That's
Well,
weird.
you should have had the
And he
clue
pulled
when
out
they
a
were
gerbil.
Jason, when they were, Jason, when they were using leather gloves, it would have been a clue. Yeah.
All right. So 3 of these screenings.
They're not supposed to caress your hair when you're doing it.
Real cream, a little dab will do you.
Just try to relax. It's okay. It's okay.
You know, actually, for you two, genetic counseling might be a good thing to screen you two for.
Is that
Genetic
offered?
counseling.
Are they
That is
offering genetic
offered, yeah.
counseling?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And I believe caller number 9 gets to give Terry a mammogram. Is that contest still happening today?
Lord.
Caller number 9 at 239-9393. Is
That's
that
Men's Health. All right, we need to take a break.
So, anyways,
We need to take a
you
break.
take you get 3, you get a free lunch, you get a beer.
Right.
What I mean,
You get all kinds
What
of
more
goodie
could you
bags and
ask
all kinds
for?
of stuff, free
And-
stuff.
Yeah, come on out.
And you can see the guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Hammer and
And yeah,
Nigel
you
are
can.
here.
This is
You've got you got Jake is here. Kevin Bowen. I haven't seen John. Is JMV here?
John will be here.
Yeah.
I got to see this.
We're at Googman
this
House
new
Brewing,
weight loss that he's had.
1700 North on Gent Street, right off of 16th Street on the west side of Indianapolis. You want to lock us out, mister?
93 WIBC.
'93 WIBC. The Holtman Garden Show is on the road. We're at 1700 North Gent Street, Gent. And Franciscan Health has put on a male screening type clinic.
November.
The place is packed. I love it that men are getting out here for all these screenings. And if you get 3 screenings, the first 200 get.
How long does it go for?
It goes till 3 o'clock.
3?
3
Goes to
o'clock.
3.
Yep. And the ladies are here too. You see a lot of ladies
Yeah.
that are coming in with their spouses or their companions, and they're it's a really comfortable. The game is on.
The game's on.
Everybody's having a good time. People that frequent this place say that it's never not. There's always crowded. It's always
Have
busy.
you seen the father
So I'm
and
so
sons?
happy.
The
Yep.
fathers with the young boys. I like that.
I haven't.
Taking care of business. They are.
Father with the young boys. Oh, their own children.
Their own.
Oh,
Kat, do you have to get there?
Well, wait, you didn't say it well.
You didn't say it well.
Well, you could have helped. Instead of helping, you have to go to the.
Well, you left
blood pressure,
You
glucose, cholesterol screenings. You can test your strength. Danny,
I'm drinking
Danny
a
Martin.
Hellas.
That's not all. Pulmonary function testing, skin cancer. Dr. Emily
Yeah.
Keller and the Indy Derm team. She's wonderful. Oral cancer screening with Dr. John Jansen.
It's an all-day drinking beer.
Do you know where the Hellas is on your body?
No.
It's a real thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, the Hellas is on your. I believe the Hellas is what is between your eye and your ear. That's called your Hellas.
The space between
It's
your.
called your Hellas, and you're saying you're having a Hellas beer?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Terry, I think what's weird is that that's something you remember. Of all the years that I've known you, I don't even think you remember your middle name if I don't say it every week, but you remember that.
Yeah. Jason, have you ever had a swollen uvula?
Oh, your uvula.
Yeah, but you can walk it off.
You do walk it off.
Yeah.
You feel all right.
Yeah, a few beers, walk it off a little bit, wake up the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what men do. You walk it off.
Yeah, because that's who you are. Look at Jason, by the way. Look how good he looks.
He does look good.
Jason is really taking good care of himself.
What
How
happened?
many pounds?
I'm down 50.
50 pounds for this one.
And listen, I don't have the fancy endorsement. I don't have the shot. It's a little diet called Don't Be Such a Fatty. And that's what
Yeah.
I've been doing since last August.
Wow, good for you.
I mean, because he looks good, he feels good. I know he does.
so they're not
a lot of energy.
hitting you with the dart.
No, but here's the situation I'm at now, and maybe this is where I can ask an expert here today. I've noticed once I've lost the 50, right? It's really tough to break through that next plateau.
Right.
Like it feels like no matter what I do, I stay, between 5 pounds. I could work out all week, drink nothing but water, whatever.
Your body wants to make sure you're serious.
You're at a
And
plateau.
Here's the
You
thing.
are at a plateau. This is where you're supposed to be. If you can't lose any more, this is what you should be.
But technically, I would still be considered obese.
Truly?
Yeah, I'm 220 pounds right now. When I started this little weight loss journey, your boy here was over 270.
That's the size of a baby
How tall are
elephant.
you?
Thank you. You're the second person that's brought that up
The
to me.
baby
I appreciate
elephant was
that.
born.
Yes.
I remember that was how much he weighed.
Jason, how tall are you?
6 feet.
6 feet. So you're. It's that weight chart doesn't that kind of tick you off? I mean, they want you to be like at 192, right, on the high end,
For a
something like that.
person.
Like 185, 192-ish, which, I mean,
crazy.
that was the old football playing weight back in the day.
Yeah.
Hammer, here's
That's
what
35 years ago.
your body is looking. It's called the 18-day rule. Once you get down to that plateau, you got to do the same thing for 18 days. Your body wants to see if you're them. They really want to make sure that you're really serious. And if you're serious, then it'll give you the next weight.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, if JMV shows up, I'd hit you in the ass. I mean, in the rear end with one of those shots.
You put him in a stomach.
But here's the thing about JMV. He's going to eat cottage cheese for breakfast,
And
lunch,
tuna,
and dinner.
right.
That sounds awful to me. I want to have beers. If there's a ball game on, I want to have a brat and a steak on the grill. If Captain Cottage Cheese wants to do that, knock yourself out. But I'm not trying to be miserable anymore.
I'm proud of you for not taking the easy. It's not. Some people will say, I'm at a plateau. I can maintain where I am. I just want to get lower. Once you get lower, but a lot of people don't know is that semaglutide shot, you're losing muscle and you're losing fat. You lose both of them.
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out at this point. If anybody can help me maybe get through that plateau, fine. I've done the leg work myself here. Though.
Sure.
Like, you know,
Yes, you have.
The hard part, I think, is done. I just need a little kickstart to get to that next level.
Very disciplined.
I just hit you. Where do you say to you? In the stomach?
I thought they give them in the stomach.
Well, no wonder I'm not losing weight. It's like I would have
Pat,
sworn
you
it
look
said
like,
in the rib.
you lost weight over the years.
Yeah,
because
but
when we look at some of the pictures of you in the past,
Yeah.
you just had a little more weight on.
Yeah.
So you've lost weight.
I know,
at
but
some point.
I need to lose weight. I'm at like 227, and same thing. I need to be right around that one. If I could just maintain around 200, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
But you don't want to make yourself miserable, though, like, because I've done that in the past, because I've had a couple different weight loss journeys, and I'm only going to eat this and that. Dude, I'm a seasonal eater. I'm an event eater. If it's Super Bowl Sunday, I want to spread. If it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to embarrass myself.
Okay.
That's just what I enjoy. But, you know, the other times, just moderation, I guess.
Yeah. Moderation in all things.
Jason Hammer joins us here on the Home and Garden Show. No, he's not going to be doing a segment known as Hammer Rules. That is not going to happen. His cohort, Nigel, just went drinking. I don't know where he went.
Went into it. I don't know.
You mean Nigel went drinking? When did this start?
I know.
Wow.
He complained about that wrist thing, and
Where's
I thought
the breaking news sounder?
the only thing that really bothered me is he couldn't pick up his beer, and I thought that's really kind of
shocked to find there's gambling going on in here.
He does have an inflamed. His whole arm is inflamed.
I know. It was
So
great to have a PT, Danny, being able to
help him. So maybe he's inside. Get a little more therapy.
Although Nigel's taking it more seriously, I have noticed, because he's dropped some weight too.
Yeah.
But we always joke with him, like every other week or so, man, I'm going to stop drinking. 5 o'clock rolls around. Go ahead and give me one. You know, but he's taking this round more seriously, though.
Hey, Jason, we have to pay for our show. We have a lifelong sponsor in Michaelis.
Wait, here comes Nige.
Sometimes they listen to the show.
That's all right.
Sometimes they don't.
We'll
Listen,
get to
I'm
him.
right here. I heard my name.
We're going to pay for this show.
So wait a
We're going to
minute.
talk to Joe Palizzi.
Okay, we'll get to Joe in a minute. Just give 1 second.
Why would you want to talk to Nigel when you can talk to Joe?
Because you just said he went drinking, and it appears he's drinking a Coke.
Listen, this man can't find his ass in a well-lit room.
Oh, good Lord.
Joe
Wow.
Denny bringing the heat.
Wow.
Denny bring.
Jeez.
Pat, this is supposed
You
to
know,
be the
the
guy
thing
that
is,
helped
I'd
you.
argue with him, but he's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, well, we do have to get to Joe, but I really do appreciate you leaving your run of show in the trash.
Oh, we do it on Saturdays.
Because it really helps.
We just reread the script.
Because
Is this anything from the Home and Garden Show?
We do.
I mean,
it works every time.
It does work. It's like, because we don't really do any show prep.
Nope.
And I always just rely on Hammer having left that for us. I pull it out. It's like gold.
Coach Palizzi, I know you're listening. Just hang on. We'll get him to you in here in just a second.
Why are you so upset?
The man pays our bills.
I know, but you know what?
Ben's dad, right?
He's probably
It's
enjoying
Ben's
it.
dad.
It is Ben's dad.
Love Ben.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everybody
Ben
loves
was in
Ben.
the world famous Hammer and Nigel Show car wash video.
Oh, my God.
As the real
my
good looking
gosh.
guy at the beginning that
Yep.
could not wash
You know,
the cars.
Ben
I know.
was our producer.
I was ready to change teams after I saw that.
We
He's
had
amazing.
Ben Palizzi as our producer.
Wow.
And he didn't know it was a call-in show. He did not know how to put calls on air.
No.
And he was our producer.
It was-
Gorgeous
Problem.
kid. I mean, he was a nice guy.
It was.
But
It was so funny. He was just he was
didn't know how to
working
take
overnight, and he's just sitting there overnight. And he's like, I can't run a spot. I can't. He couldn't do anything.
But he's a super nice kid,
He's
and
a great
that's
kid.
on the parent right there.
That's
That's
right.
good.
There you
parent.
go. Joining us on the program, Joe Palizzi from the Michaelis Corporation. Hey, good afternoon, Joe.
Good afternoon, Pat. It's a tough act to follow here.
Yeah.
Well,
Tough act
you
to
know,
follow. I think I can do it.
it's really not that hard when you put your mind to it. All
Well,
right,
you
Joe.
did,
I'm coming
you
up.
did baptism.
I'm kind of coming
You
up
did-
on the our anniversary of me and you meeting. I think that was the first time we
10
really
years.
met. Was
How did you meet?
he came out to my burning house?
Oh, he came. That's when you met him.
Yes.
10 years ago.
I mean, I had known him. I think maybe we had even had him on the show and stuff, but I'd never met him face to face. And I called the number 844-FIX-INDY, and Joe called me back because he was in church. He's down at St. Rock's, right?
Exactly. Black
St. Rock's,
Friday.
and he goes, and he said he saw or he heard my message. It's like, oh boy, and He was there. I mean, he was there before the fire department as they were rolling their hoses up.
I didn't know Joe was the guy on the scene.
Yep. And I'm telling you, so comforting. So, I mean, Joe, you've talked about a million times of what your job is when you come upon those disasters.
Well, we were just fortunate to be in a position to help you that day. It was hectic, but our crew came in and did a great job, and you were certainly wide open for any suggestions we would have. So it was just a good matchup and a good situation to make the best out of a poor situation. And again, we're just happy to be a part of it. That's what we do, and try to make the bad things go away and correct what we can and make the situation, the environment just as smooth as can be.
Joe always has a little, like he's longtime coach at UIndy, and he kind of has that coaching mentality that he brings to. Yeah. There's a kind of a comfort, but yet builds you up. It's like, hey, we're going to get through this thing. We're going to get through this thing, and that's kind of what we needed to hear that day, really.
I'm sure. And Joe, from what I understand, was there some damage from I know we had a little snow and we had some wind, but did we get did you have some damage with the snow that we had earlier in the week?
Actually, over the last few days, there was certainly some situations for us to come in and help some people, especially with the water situation. That's pretty much what I want to talk about. We talk about teams and things like that, and our water mitigation team, I can't imagine a better group. They're going to respond, and they're going to respond with expertise, and they've got high expectations, and they're going to come with enthusiasm. It's not a situation like you're dragging us out at 2 a.m. reluctantly. These guys are jacked up to do their job and make people feel better in a tough situation. And I think we've got a Heisman Trophy candidate. If they did that in water mitt, we've got a guy named Joseph Schaefer, and he is so good. And he's well known around the area as being the best at coming into those situations and taking care of things the way they should be.
Wow. How long has Joseph been with you? Number of years?
He's been there as long as I've been there, and that's 2014. And he's really super. And you can ask around, I'm sure you have, but everywhere I go, they say, hey, that guy, he's a superstar. We're fortunate to have him. Richard and everybody certainly appreciates what he does. But the fact is he's going to do what's professionally needed and nothing more. And he explains it in such a way that you understand what's taking place, what needs to take place, and we're going to be out of your hair just as soon as possible.
There you go. Well, Joe, thanks for spending a little time with us. And on my 10th anniversary of burning the house down, I thought of you actually earlier this week, that first meeting we had. So we appreciate everything Michaelis did for us. Michaelis, 844-FIX-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Happened. Did he make it? Was it a kick?
I don't know.
Watching the IU game, something just happened, something big.
Yeah, the crowd here at Gugman just kind of went, something happened. I don't know what it is.
Something happened. Seven.
Intentional.
They're up 7-0.
All right, IU, you can hear it on the fan. That is 93.5 and 107.5.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's it. It's on right now.
And look at JMV.
Is he here?
Once a week, we get a phone call from our buddy JMV. He's usually on the road, probably taking his daughter to a...
Look at him.
Look at you.
He's like a 7th grader.
Yeah. His clothes are too big.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Now I do.
Now we got you.
Now I hear you guys. How we doing?
We're doing great.
Great.
We thought certainly John's going to show up here. It's a long haul for you.
Well, I've got I was IU obviously in Ohio State, but I also have tonight's final JMV takeover season 4.
It's the last one. We're going to Christmas music.
I thought 11 a.m. until 1 a.m. maybe a little too lengthy.
Sure.
So, yeah, I get a little bit off of it. So
it's good to see you. You look great, brother.
Thank you. So do you. Not as good as you. I'm trying to catch up with you. Look at you right there.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Buffett reincarnated sitting across from me.
JMV, we don't get
to see
very often.
Are those mushrooms on your shirt right
those
there?
Are mushrooms. Yeah.
Are those psychedelic?
Yeah,
yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's very psychedelic of you over there, Dan. I had no idea.
He's Denny's a big pro-drug user.
No, he's
a
not.
hippie.
No, he's
Old
not.
hippie.
Yeah.
You need to get in here and get all these screenings, brother. Have you been in here?
I have not
Oh
yet.
my
I just
gosh.
walked in.
Yeah,
So,
this is for men, and I know you guys have been doing a big job of this at the Fan promoting this thing. But this is big time. I mean,
it's great.
Men are stupid, and we need to
There's no
take care of
question.
business.
That's the 5th time you said that now.
Dumb
Well, I'm
as
looking at you. I mean, I'm reminded every time I look at you.
Dumb as all get out right there. Blood pressure, mine's normal now.
Okay.
They were the ones that kind of directed me into it being so bad about a year ago.
Did they tell you, are you borderline? Did they try to scare you? What did they tell you, brother?
They said, they were calling the ambulance, I think. It was that bad. I mean, it was bad.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
was, like I was watching the whole American Sniper with Chris Kyle always had his blood pressure going for an obvious reason for what he did. But mine was bad, too. And it kind of reminded me of that scene in the movie where they go, what is happening here? And I kept saying, I'm fine. I'm driving around, playing basketball, doing all that.
Everybody gets their wake-up
Yeah.
call, and you got yours, and you made a difference, man.
I did. It feels
How much
good.
have you lost?
You look great.
54 pounds.
54 pounds.
I didn't know I had
Amazing.
54 to lose.
Now
and
you're
then all
still
of a
eating
sudden-
cottage cheese? Can you
I
eat
do.
normal food?
I just bought 3 containers today.
He's cut it into the refrigerator at work.
I think Jason Hammer referred to you as Captain Cottage Cheese.
Yes, I am. So
Yeah.
I got to deal with
It was very
Daisy
derogative.
now, too. Matter of fact, Daisy is an advertiser
Oh, is that right?
on the show. They do dips and stuff, but they want me to mention the cottage cheese.
Is
so-
that right?
Yeah. So
That's cool.
Daisy is on board. That is the best cottage
Have you
cheese. out
tried
there,
it with
Daisy.
the salsa yet? Like pineapple salsa?
You know what? I just kind of go
Salsa?
straight up. I'll
Yeah.
mix a little tuna in. I got my cooler out there, and I'll mix a little tuna in it. Like
You need
that.
to cut up tomatoes.
Yeah.
Tomatoes. You can do cucumbers.
That's so
but
much
it's good
work,
with all-
Denny,
I-
right
it is
there.
so much work.
Yeah.
It is, but look, I have a whole tray of this stuff for you to put into your cottage cheese.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's one thing
We're
I
trying
haven't had anything like that. I haven't had
No-
a slice
no bread,
of
no
bread
pita.
or nothing.
No.
So
Do you
How we
crave
do?
it?
I don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't even crave it.
I don't.
So what's the who's helping you lose weight?
Premier Weight Loss.
Okay.
Yep, Thomas Hilbert is the guy that kind of directed me there. Oh, we're going to do a little TV spot, I think, of it too here at some point.
When you're what's the drug that you were doing to help you get
Zepbound.
started? Okay.
It's the Lilly created weight loss product.
So what is then? How do you move forward with that once you
That's
hit
a
your
good question.
goal?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm all gas, no brakes, Pat.
Okay.
So I will find out. I'm going to try to get down to a 32
Oh,
waist.
I thought you were going to tell me it made you fart.
Well,
all gas.
Well, I
no
didn't know if
brakes.
I think I do that anyway.
Yeah.
I
I
think
didn't know if there
regardless.
was a maintenance dose or something like that you do. Like
Well,
you take a shot once a month or once a week?
Once a week.
Once
Every
a week.
Thursday.
Okay.
It's changed the way you eat, though, and
It
the way
has.
you look
Yeah.
at food. So it's something that you'll always have
Yeah,
with you.
it's
Is
been-
you're
been-
now in this new way of eating and
Very directorial
Right.
is what it has been.
So hopefully you'll continue that
It has
with or
me
without a shot.
Choose the right path, and I've just been high protein straight up right there.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lighten up on the carbohydrates, the wasted sugars and stuff.
I thought the shot, because I got some of the samples and I was hitting myself in the rear.
Yeah.
And it turns out you're supposed to do it in the stomach?
I don't. I do it in the thigh.
In the thigh?
Yeah.
Can you do
Right
it
here.
anywhere? It's like
thigh or the stomach, and
Okay.
I think some do it in the stomach. I just always had done it in the thigh, so it's no big deal either way, though. It's just quick and done, but it shows results. I have a guy that listens to the show that apparently he just told me this week he lost 30 pounds in a little over a month, he said.
Wow. Oh,
So,
30
which is-
pounds in a
that's
little over.
lot.
That's a lot of weight
That's a lot
to lose
of
in a
weight
month. Yep.
right there. So, but people are on board with it, and it's cool.
And
Hey,
if you-
final JMV takeover tonight, too. I know you guys got to hit a break here because
we-
Denny gave me the signal.
Yeah,
We're
Denny's
okay.
always watching.
We still have 2 minutes.
Psychedelic Denny over there.
So, but I am interested in moving down the road. Once you hit your goal weight, what's next?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Can you stop it? I mean, do you,
Sure.
Do you
I would
taper?
guess. I don't know if it'll work. Like, I want to get down to 175 when I was a sophomore in high school, and I'm going to wear a 32 waist. pant.
Why is that the goal?
I don't know. I just thought I wanted to shoot
Why
for
not?
something.
Why
Might as
not
well
a
shoot for
senior
that.
in high school?
I'm getting close to that right now. Yeah, I'm
when
getting
you're a
close,
senior?
Yeah. About 185 or so.
And only John would remember how much he weighed each year.
185. I'm down maybe 10 more or less. And
Has it
and I'll get
affected
to
your memory at all?
185.
Any other
It's
side
still
effects like that?
Sound as a pound. Not the short term sucks, but the long term is in business.
That's really
Denny.
good.
As always, anything you need to know long term wise about this date in history?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I don't know.
Today is Eat a Cranberry Day, National Eat a Cranberry Day.
Eat a big
and I
one,
was
John.
wondering, when did they actually declare that national holiday?
Gosh, I
let's
don't
see.
know.
Cranberries?
Cranberries, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the Cranberries,
They
the
is.
group from the 1990s, the late, great Dolores O'Riordan
Oh,
at
really?
lead, remember?
Yeah, that's good.
The song Zombie?
No.
Names,
How's it go?
Cranberries.
Can you sing it a little bit?
Zombie. No?
I don't
Doesn't
think
shake
so.
anything loose there, Terry? Come on now. Zombie, the Cranberry, Dolores O'Riordan. I believe she was very Irish.
gosh.
Unfortunately,
All right,
she
so
passed
John,
away
here's
years
your
ago.
cranberry joke.
We're coming right. Oh,
The cranberry joke of the day from Tom Hetty.
Okay.
Why were the cranberries wet?
why were the cranberries wet?
Because they were ocean sprayed.
I will say this. I grew up a big fan of Cran Apple. Anybody else right here from
me?
Ocean Spray? Who all drank Cran Apple?
Love it, love
Cran
it.
apple.
In the glass bottle. You know, if they were to go back to glass bottles, you know how much better everything would be.
That's
Yes.
right. And we would have all those toxins.
That's right.
We got to go.
This segment is normally the speed round. We can't take your calls because of where we are, but it's brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. They've got great pricing on Lazy Boy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers furniture, mattresses made in
need a
Indiana,
pulmonary check.
and
Yeah.
maintenance-free outdoor furniture.
See that?
Hey,
They got free delivery up to 75 miles. ThompsonFurniture.net.
I need a couch in a Lazy Boy. Thompson, good place to go?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Was it Columbus? Is that what it is?
Yeah, down Bartholomew County, but they're just really nice,
That's your neighborhood.
nice people.
That's easy. Who
Yeah.
do I shout out to down at Thompson Furniture?
One of the
to get
Thompson
Spencer.
guys. Spencer, that's right.
Because I got one of those really cheap ass ones in my house
With the
that fall apart.
Right. Pleather.
I'd love to tell you who sold it to me. I would love to
No, don't.
call them out like that, but I won't because
Don't do
I'll
that.
say
Let's
that
not
for
do
my
that.
show. That's when I do
Was
that.
it Gary Todd?
Yeah.
Was it Gary Todd?
No. Yeah, it's a place that I'd never go again. It's like put together with matchsticks and stapled together and stuff.
Yeah.
I need something legit
Wow.
where I can fall asleep.
Yeah, that's back when you were a heavyweight. See, now you're a lightweight. You sort of appreciate you need different things.
I just sit on top of the cushions very delicately right now.
We used to
Psychedelic
buy everything we bought.
Yes.
It was always bought from somebody that was going out of business.
Yeah.
Isn't
When we
that
were
the
first
truth?
married.
Well, John,
Everything we got was like, okay, they're going out of business. They're having a going out of business sale. Let's go get it.
John has lost so much weight that he could sit on a quarter and tell you if it's heads or tails. He's got nothing in his body. He's really
that's a new
Don't
one.
give me any ideas, Dan.
Yeah, I see.
Don't give me any ideas. They were talking about prostate exam in there, and I go, hey, well, that's why. I
it's
showed
an
up.
assessment. They're not doing the exams.
Oh, they're not?
No, behind the curtains. That's
Oh.
oral cancer exams.
Well-
and then the skin cancer on the other one.
So we are here at Gugman. Am I saying that right? Still?
Gugman House?
Yeah. And
Awesome place, by the way.
yes, it's beautiful. Great place to watch this IU game. I'll tell you that. And this event from Franciscan goes until 3 o'clock.
That's right.
3 o'clock. Now, John, a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a little gig tonight, an MC thing, and I have to interview Ed Carpenter.
Yes.
So,
He's
is there
the best. He's
anything?
great.
Can you give me a question? Can you give me something that?
Ask him about how good he ran the 500 when he put the JMV Sucks logo
Okay.
on his car.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
even,
a
you know
good
what?
one.
I told him he was really good. I forget where he finished, but he would have won, but he put it kind of behind the damn front wheel and the wheel well. I go, man, you put that thing more prominently
Yeah.
where you don't have to bend over to see it, and you're going to be a winner. Say, remember that time you put JMV Sucks on your Indy car?
Now, speaking of bend over, well, you can come out here for assessments, and you will not have to bend over.
That's
Everything's easy here.
All right. Do you have a question for Ed?
For Ed, no. Ed's he was a house flipper, all kinds of things. He's really interesting. He's a little shyer or quiet, but he's got a great sense of humor, a little
Great
dark.
guy. Hey, you guys are the best. Man, I love coming on with you guys. Seriously.
Oh, well, thanks very
Love it.
much.
Thank you for coming.
Well, that's all we have.
That's
all the
over.
time we have.
It was fun.
Well, we still actually have 20 seconds. I'm not really
Well,
sure. what
happy
we're gonna do.
Thanksgiving, you guys.
Say thank you to
I'm grateful
Francisco.
for all of you. I really am.
I
Thank
may
you
come
so
join
much.
you live on Saturday, too.
We would love it.
We would
I'm
love
just kind of knocking around doing nothing.
Yeah, do
Absolutely.
it.
Love you guys.
Ethan,
Love
thank
you,
you very
John.
much. Thanks, Cam. We appreciate it. All right, Abdul, I think, is coming up next, 93 WIBC.